Good morning, I'm Ryan Baker. The Cleveland Cavaliers are now 0-5 on the road in the playoffs this year after losing to Detroit 107-97 last night. The Pistons now lead the best-of-7 series 2-0. Game 3 Saturday at 3 up in Cleveland. The Oklahoma City Thunder now lead their series with the Los Angeles Lakers 2-0 after a 125-107 victory. The Cincinnati Reds have lost 7 straight after an 8-3 loss to the Cubs in Wrigley Field yesterday. Cincinnati has fallen to last place in the National League Central. The Reds start a home series with the Houston Astros tonight at 6:10. The Cleveland Guardians, they're in first place, though, in the AL Central. They beat the Royals 8-5. The Guardians back at Progressive Field tonight, taking on the Minnesota Twins at 7:15. Stanley Cup playoffs, the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Philadelphia Flyers 4-1. This one brought to you by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, Pataskala, or online at rcdrv.com.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lesmerises joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
and
then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Friday edition of the program. Bo the boys with you for the next 3. Bake is here. Isaiah is here. Tim May will join at 10:30. Doug Lesmerises coming up at 11:30. What we learned this week at 11 o'clock. I was going to go in a different direction off this top of this program. But we have just there are aliens among us. I mean, I think that's where we're at. Did you see this? This dropped in the last hour. The Department of War releases unidentified anomalous phenomena, historic transparency effort. There's ships. We got aliens, kids. That's where we're at. Pete Hegseth with this. The Department of War is in lockstep with President Trump to bring unprecedented transparency regarding our government's understanding of unidentified. These files hidden behind classifications of long-fueled justified speculation. It's time for the American people to see for themselves. This release of declassified documents demonstrates the Trump administration's earnest commitment to unprecedented transparency. Do you think we need to know this? Do you want to know? You want to know there's aliens out there living amongst us?
So, I have
this explain Bob all these years?
I have this conversation with my parents all the time.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, maybe we're the crazy ones. Because everybody else seems crazy. So maybe we're the crazy ones. We're the ones that are different. Maybe we're not normal. And I also think this was a pay attention to the scores from a long time ago, Bo. Yeah. When we had President Obama talking about aliens.
Yeah.
And then we had Trump mention them, too. Like, this was all in, like, a week span. What was it, about 6 months ago, 8 months ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Pay attention to the scores, folks.
Are you? Are you an alien, Bake? Did you infiltrate?
I could
Isaiah,
be.
did you infiltrate?
As much as we know about me, I probably could have. It feels like like Bake said, all the people over the course of the years that we've called the crazy conspiracy theory people, as time goes on, more and more of them are just becoming right. And all of us that have believed for so long that, none of those things are real, now we're just all being proved wrong. Have we all just been blindfolded for so long?
Yes, it appears that we have. Yeah. It's so interesting when you try to consider this. My initial thing is, and maybe this is just how desensitized I've gotten to anything that is shocking. I'm kind of just like, okay, all right, well, it's worked out okay so far. Like I haven't had any real issues. It kind of reminds me of like Men in Black, right? Like they're living amongst us. They got some people who make sure that everybody stays in order, and as long as we don't have a giant cockroach going down High Street, we're all going to be fine. I mean, I could easily spend 2 hours I won't on the show, but I could easily spend 2 hours just reading this stuff. I get Siciliano sending me pictures of flying objects. He's been into it for about an hour already. It's on.
I mean, at this point, just come get me, right? Just take me. It's cool. Just come.
Good run.
Wherever we're going, let's get there quick.
Let's get there, man. What do you do? Don't make me stand in line. Wherever we're going, just let's get there in a hurry. That was the SNL bit where they were abducted, and they always break. I think it's the Gosling skit where they always break, where she was abducted. One had a great experience, the other one did not. But yeah, so it's been an eventful Friday, kids. I was thinking about this, watching the Cavaliers last night, and acknowledging that I haven't watched them much all season, but they're an Ohio team. They're in the mix. My kids seem to be excited about it. So I watched the game last night. And I don't know. First of all, paratrooping in on this team, and I don't know how much of this you've watched, Isaiah. I know Bake hasn't watched. Bake's probably similar to me, maybe even less throughout the course of the year in terms of how much he's watched of them.
mean, I watched the second half of Game 7 in the first round. That's
there you
good.
go.
That's good.
I'm a regular season Cavs watcher, so I watch almost every game.
Okay,
Unfortunately, now.
Perfect then. Perfect. You in for East today is perfect. So can you explain to me, is this normal operating procedure for Donovan Mitchell to not play the entire fourth quarter?
No. And
So what's going on?
it feels as if, and I would be shocked if at the end of this, there is not an undisclosed injury that happens after the season. It feels like there's a hamstring, because even last season, the one thing that we saw against the Pacers series is Donovan Mitchell continually, you could not stop him from getting in the paint. You couldn't stop it. He was getting free throws. All of my friends from Indiana that are Pacers fans were, you cannot stop Donovan Mitchell from getting the whistle and getting to the rack. One thing we haven't seen through the first two series is him getting any attempts in the lane. Like, he has not gotten there, where that has been his bread and butter for the past 4 seasons on the Cavs. And then just the defensive effort from him last night, too, was pretty brutal to watch. And there's some clips going on Twitter right now where there's a screen that was clearly a switch from him and Dean Wade. Yep. And for Donovan, too, like, he's typically a pretty, like, hard-playing defensive player in the playoffs. Like, he plays good defense, has kind of made up for Darius Garland a little bit over the past couple of years, has guarded the better guard on the other end of the floor, and we haven't seen that at all as well. And so for me, watching these series, there has to be an injury. Like, I can't imagine that won't be disclosed. He was asked about it in the post-game last night and said, essentially, there's nothing wrong, I'm fine, but I just don't believe it.
Me either.
I don't know, Bo, if you saw Anthony Lima's tweet this morning or late last night, but he had a video of Mitchell. And as you mentioned, Isaiah, not the greatest defensive effort, running back on a play where he missed a shot. And to me, I was like, oh, that just looks like normal NBA. But Lima said, this is video proof. Something's wrong with Donovan. He's worried about a hammy or something like that. So
I was texting Lima last night because I've known him for a long time. But then beyond that, I didn't understand. Like what I just asked you, I just paratrooped in. I'm like, why is he not in there? He doesn't look right. Clearly, he's hurt. I think I said that after game 1, too, just jumping in on that one. I was like, he just doesn't look right. Like, he's just kind of hobbling around. There's not the explosiveness. And one thing that's his game, is the explosiveness part of it. So that part is clearly gone. But I'm watching this thing yesterday, and all I keep thinking is, this is it. Like, this window, and you could argue that this window for this Cavs team is already closed. It probably closed with the trading of Darius Garland, honestly. It was probably at that point that they said, okay, this group isn't going to work in terms of winning our ultimate goal of winning a championship. And anybody who knows Dan Gilbert knows that he will spend to the ends of the earth to win a championship. And so it's never going to be about money there. Cleveland fans are pretty lucky with everybody except Guardians ownership. Like, the ownerships up there will spend what is required or do their best to throw money at problems to make sure that some of those problems can be gone away. And the same thing Gilbert does, absolutely. So when you do the Garland trade, I suppose at that point, but I'm watching last night and I'm just going, I don't even know at this point. Obviously, they are, as currently constructed, they are not a championship contender in any way, in no possible way. And so they have some assets that are tradable. Like, what do you do? And I think that one of the hardest things in sports from a fandom perspective is when you see a window for your team's close. And it can be a championship window. It can be the window that we saw close for the Blue Jackets when Panarin left that there was a window there, and then that window closed, and you're like, God, that team maybe could have won a cup or at least been in the mix, been one of those teams that gets to a conference final. Panarin left. Okay, window closes. Probably the most famous example of this was the Pistons in the late 80s when Michael Jordan finally beat them with the Bulls, and they just walked off the court before the game was over without shaking hands. It was like, okay, window closed. I remember when Mike beat Magic in the early 90s in the finals, and that was heartbreaking to me. But it was like, okay, this is it. Like, we had a good run. You had the Showtime Lakers, and that window is closed. I mentioned the one earlier this week when I had to root for Karl Malone, which I absolutely despised, with the Shaq Kobe Lakers. It was like, okay, well, that's it. The window's closed. The injuries are there. The infighting's there. That window is closed. And it's tough to say it because what's next can be brutal. And you're not even entitled to get back to where you just were. Like, think about all of the things that had to line up for the Cavaliers to be in this spot right now that they've been in the last 4 or 5 years, like a contending team. All of the little dominoes that had to happen, and it's all gone. And where do you go from here? It's a brutal one. And to me, watching last night, that's where they're at.
And, Bo, it's interesting as you were talking there, and you're right, it seems like this is it. Like, it seems like there's going to be a lot of changes for this Cavaliers team moving forward because they've been right there and they haven't been able to get over the hump. Mm-hmm. As you were talking about that, I was thinking about not only teams and windows, I was thinking about players and their windows coming to an end. And something I don't think like Isaiah's generation or younger are going to get as far as this guy played for your team forever. Mm-hmm. And now that window is closed. Like as a Reds fan, Joey Votto leaving and being done. Like that was heartbreaking. Bernie Kosar getting traded or let go to the Dallas Cowboys or those
brutal.
Yeah, like those kinds of things. Like you have you always had two different kind of windows in sports, and you're going to still have one. Like when LeBron retires, that's going to be a window because he was so great. But you're not going to have that player with your team type of thing anymore.
And you see it last night, too. Like, the very first thing I saw online was, are we moving Evan Mobley? Because obviously he didn't play fantastic last night. He finished the game with 1 rebound as a 7-footer, which is brutal. But earlier this season, like, we see Darius Garland get moved, and he was someone that the Cavs drafted years ago, and he kind of progressed through when the Cavs were post-LeBron bad into how we've been the past couple of years, which is a pretty darn good basketball team, but not a great basketball team. And so we moved DG, we shortened the runway with James Harden, and then you kind of whisk away one more guy that we had built. So the longevity of players isn't a thing anymore. Like, you aren't seeing guys stay for a long time. But the other question I'll have after this series ends, I mean, and there's no certainty that it's over for the Cavs. Like, they could clearly come back and it would make us all happy. But if they don't, my question will be, there's no way that this team stays together for another season. So how will this era of Cavs basketball be remembered? Because it was a good era. Like, we had some good playoff games, some pretty good teams, some great seasons. We were a 1 seed.
You had a 70-point game for Mitchell.
Yep. We had some awesome games and series with these guys, but at the end of the day, now it's so championship-based. Like, if you don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals, like, you were a failure as a team. But realistically, this was a good era of Cavs basketball. Like, it just was. Is it over yet? I don't know. Hopefully they come back, but after last night, it looks pretty bleak.
It does. It does. We'll continue with this. We think we can probably tell you when the Ohio State schedule is going to come out on the football side of things, when these games are going to be played. We'll get into that as well. We're off and running on a Friday. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Get Eco.
Aaron, who taught you about business?
My mom.
Huh, really?
Yes, really.
What business was she in?
She was in the business of raising 3 kids by herself.
Single mom. That explains a lot.
What do you mean?
Well, it explains why you do an additional $500 worth of repairs for free when people have to buy a new hot water heater.
If someone had done that for Mom, she would have thought they were an angel sent from heaven.
Get Eco.
And it explains why you give people credit for all the money they spent with us for HVAC repairs when they need to buy a new system.
Yeah.
And it explains why you were such a maniac about finding a good toilet that we could sell fully installed for just $650.
Maniac?
You were a maniac, Aaron.
Get Eco.
We've got plumbers, we've got electricians, and we've got HVAC technicians. And every one of them has a mom.
I love you, Mom.
GetEco.com.
Our veterans put everything on the line to defend our nation. So when they need help, Congressman Mike Carey fights for our veterans. Because as a veteran himself, Mike Carey understands their service must be honored.
My name is Thomas Rand, and I put my life on the line serving our nation in Vietnam. But when I needed help with an outstanding disability claim, the VA wasn't there for me. But Congressman Mike Carey had my back. Because of his hard work, my claim was approved, and I got the help I needed. I'm thankful for Congressman Carey. He cares about our veterans.
Mike Carey will always fight to help our nation's heroes. If you're a veteran who needs help navigating government services, programs, and grants, call Congressman Mike Carey's office at 614-927-6902 or visit carey.house.gov. Paid for with official funds from the office of Mike Carey.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We will see a mostly cloudy day as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures will soar into the upper 60s. Could see some stray showers out there, but the better chance of rain overnight tonight as our lows get down into the 50s. Things should start to clear out Saturday morning. Otherwise, we'll see more sunshine throughout the day, breezy winds, and highs in the low 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Cavs down 0-2. Window certainly probably already closed in terms of the core four generation of the Cavs. And I was easily the most painful window closing of my sports fandom was the Magic Johnson window closing. That was brutal. And it was false hope because they got to the finals. They got to the finals late in his career against Michael and the Bulls and kind of got there in an upset and made it happen and won game one of that series. And then in game two of Chicago's the one where Mike changed hands in midair. And then we went, okay, that's That's the end of the road. It's been a good run, kids. We'll see on down the road. We don't have anything to combat that. Bake, what's the most painful window closing of your sports fandom?
Man, the end of Magic Johnson was rough for me because I was such a Magic Johnson fan growing up. That Blue Jackets 2019 one was tough.
It was. Because
you knew when they went all in at the trade deadline that...
Was that Duchesne?
You got Duchesne and Dzingel.
Yep.
You knew then that this was coming to an end because you knew they weren't going to pay Bob what Bob wanted to pay, and maybe in hindsight that was the wrong move.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew Panarin didn't want to sign here. You knew he was going elsewhere. He wanted a bigger market. And it was like, okay, they're going for this.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to win it all here. And you didn't know if Duchesne was going to re-sign, and you didn't know if they were going to be able to make any moves. You kind of thought you had Korpisalo, Elvis was in the pipeline, that maybe they'd be okay at goal. But you kind of knew this was your last run for a while. It may take a year or two or three, or as we know now, even longer, to get back to being a Stanley Cup contending winning team. And I do believe that team could have won the cup. I think it was good enough to win a cup. So I was all for the all-in move on it, but you just knew it was all or nothing.
Yeah. The crazy thing about Duchesne, he's probably the first one I remember when even they acquired him. The first time I became aware of how cool NHL players thought Nashville was. He was the first one that it was like, oh, yeah, he's going to go to Nashville after the season. It's like, really? Nashville?
Big country music fan.
Loved it. Yeah.
Loved singing and playing. And
yeah, we all knew that he was like, yeah, he's a rental. He's going to be here. Isaiah, how about you? What's the most painful window closing of your sports fandom?
I think mine was for the opposite reason of Bakes, is I didn't know it was happening when it happened, and it was gone, just like that. And that was 2021, the Cleveland Browns playing the Houston Texans. When Bake throws the pick to Austin Schwartz, tries to make the tackle, blows out his shoulder, and then that was the end of the Browns window. And we didn't know it at the time because the week before that, they had just played week 1 of the season against the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. And when we played that game, I thought, oh my goodness, we look like the same team as last year when we went to the playoffs and had a great run. Bake looks good. The offense is humming. Nick Chubb was in prime Nick Chubb. And then the following week, it's completely gone. And I always told after that fact, when the Bengals made it to the Super Bowl, many of my friends were going crazy. And I told them in that moment, I said, cherish this run because when the Browns made it to just the second round and played the Chiefs, in that moment I thought, for the next couple of years, we're going to have playoff runs and we're going to have great seasons. I said, you never know how quickly your window is going to close. And ours closed week 2 of the following season. It was over. And that was heartbreaking.
Nobody knew that at the time because nobody knew the severity of the Bake, what he was dealing with. You didn't have any idea of that. I'll tell you what's crazy about that season was how quickly it all crumbled. I mean, that's the year that before the season it was, just think about this. This isn't that long ago. It was Jarvis, Odell, Austin Hooper, and Bake at the Yellowstone Club in Montana Labor Day weekend, palling around the best of buddies. He took him out there for a throwing session. And then by, is it October? Odell's, what was his dad or uncle, put the video out of Bake missing him all over the place. And then Odell was gone in a week. Like the whole thing crumbled so quickly. And in the spot I was, I knew that there were some cracks that were there, but had no idea that the dam would break as quickly as it did. It's a tough thing as a sports fan. And if you think about this from the Cavaliers' perspective, all of the things that they did made sense in the moment that they did them. Almost all of it, except for the James Harden piece. I didn't understand it. I don't know anybody up there who was excited about it. Obviously, Garland wasn't playing and he was banged up, and playing him and Mitchell at the same time, it was something that wasn't going to work in the postseason because you're just going to get hunted. But that return for Garland, is really hard for you to wrap your head around when you think about had they sold him higher at any point in the previous 2 years, the return is probably a lot greater than it was. And you got a vintage Harden performance in the postseason last night with the a nice 3 of 13, 4 turnovers, 3 assists. Just gross down the stretch, too. His plus-minus last night was minus 15 in this game. And I'm looking in the fourth quarter, 6-7 minutes to go. Mitchell's not on the court, and Harden's running everything through him. Why do people get seduced by this dude?
It makes no sense to me, and it's one of the most painful watches, too.
It's awful.
It's a horrible watch, and the last 2 minutes of the game, obviously he has the turnover, which pretty much seals the Cavs' fate. And I said throughout the entire playoffs, if you want the Cavs to make an Eastern Conference Finals run, James Harden on this team needs to be the third option. It needs to go Mitchell, Mobley, Harden. You need to limit the amount that the ball's in his hands, the amount he has to create, because there were stretches of the season where he was really good. Like, he was a good player. But unfortunately,
he always is in the regular season.
Yeah, he always is in the regular season. But unfortunately, in the playoffs, they've leaned so heavily into him where he's having to create more than the Cavs really should have him doing. Mobley also has been up and down throughout the playoffs. And so with him as your second option, and sometimes it feels like he's the first option, you're not getting out of the second round of the playoffs.
No, and he hasn't developed the way they thought he would. Mobley hasn't. I remember 4 or 5 years ago, he's going to be Kevin Garnett. No. That's he's not even Chris Bosh.
I wonder if, and sometimes in the NBA, these guys all seem to be so buddy-buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if, and I say this from watching the Blue Jackets and having complained about this, there's a lot of times I hear that the Cleveland Cavaliers are soft and they play soft. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they don't have an a-hole on their team. An a-hole to just be like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. We understand we love you, James. You're a great dude. Enough. Like, you're not doing this tonight. Like, does Mitchell need to be more of a jerk and be like, hey, give me the ball. This is my team.
I mean, Mitchell had 31 last night. I don't know if it's in his personality to do that. And again, I don't think he's healthy. To Isaiah's point earlier, he's clearly not healthy to be like, I got this. He's very happy, like kind of acquiescing to everybody else. But yeah, I mean, that could be part of it. I don't know. But what I do know, and I think it's been hammered home here over the last 2 weeks, is even if they find some way, and this is the other part that's really hard, Detroit was never a team you were concerned about, honestly. Like, you were always looking to bigger things. Well, they've passed you. And that's the thing that's pretty sobering about all of this as well. Another thing that's pretty sobering is when you do the math on the Ohio State schedule and all of your biggest fears are confirmed. We will get into that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Grilling season is here, and nobody does it better than Billiards Plus. Fire up your backyard with top-of-the-line grills from the biggest names in outdoor cooking, perfect for game day or any day. And when the party heads inside, Billiards Plus has you covered with pool tables, shuffleboard, game tables, and more. Everything you need to build the ultimate hangout, from backyard cookouts to game room showdowns. Make your home the MVP. Billiards Plus, grills, games, and good times. Family owned and operated. Check them out online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
All the folks at Buckeye, night or day. The kitchen drain has had enough. The toilet's called it quits. Drains are clogged throughout the house. I'm gonna throw a fit.
Clogged
drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee. It's 93 or free. Guaranteed. Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
All right, here's what's up on a Friday edition of the program. The Ohio State football schedule for 2026 has been out for quite a while. We are still waiting on game time broadcast partner assignments, although we really don't have to wait. We stumbled into this yesterday, and then I saw it kind of take off around the social media and such. Yesterday, Notre Dame released its times and schedule for starts that included all of their Peacock games, all of their NBC and Peacock games, I should say. And the thing that was an attention getter, in the words of Buford T. Justice, was the fact that Miami on November 7th was a 7:30 start for the Irish on NBC. And so what that means is that guess who we play on November 7th? The Oregon Ducks. I was holding out some hope and trying to do some mental gymnastics to get to a point how somehow Ohio State, Oregon could be something other than a noon kick. But the reality is, now that this is done, there isn't. I suppose there's a chance it could still be a 3:30 kick on CBS, but I'm not very optimistic about that either. I think the reality is that Fox, with the first 3 picks in their draft of these games, chose Ohio State and Michigan, Ohio State and Indiana, which is a road game, and Ohio State and Oregon. And so all of those games will be noon kicks. None of things official yet. The only chance we had to potentially sway this was Oklahoma, Michigan. Early in the season, Michigan hosts Oklahoma. That's week 2. I was hopeful that maybe that would want to be one of their first 3 picks. Clearly it's not. I suppose it still could be. It could be. But then what that would tell me is that NBC would not want Ohio State, Oregon at night, and I see no scenario where that's the case. So Ohio State, Oregon's either going to be at noon or it's going to be 3:30, and that sucks. And it's something that we have become resigned to here now, where we just have to get used to it. I was on with Brother Bone and Nephew Tybus this morning, and they were talking about Ohio State, Alabama, which, by the way, is still on as for now. I think you said this yesterday, Bake. I'll believe that, like when I see it on the schedule and it's locked in.
But they did cancel their games with Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So maybe you're saying there's a chance. I'm
optimistic. So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah. I mean, I feel pretty confident that they'll play it. But Brother Bone was saying, well, why don't you just go to Fox and say, this one needs to be at night, do us a solid. They tried. Ross tried last year with Texas. They went to him and they said, hey, what can we do here? We'd really like this. It's the opener. We'd really like this to be the night game. We're open to playing on Sunday. We're open to playing potentially on Monday. I think probably they were open to playing on Friday, which is something I abhor around. I have no interest in that. To me, Fridays for high school football, stay out of their way. But one time, I probably would have been okay with it if that meant you could have got a night game between Ohio State and Texas. And in the contract, Texas had the right to say, actually, no. We have to play on Saturday because we need 7 full days to prepare for whoever the heck they played next, UT San Antonio, whoever. And so because of that, it had to stay on Saturday and it had to stay at noon. So in regard to the Alabama game in a couple of years here, the only chance you have is if you build it into the contract. So the 2 things that would have to happen. Number 1, it'd have to be played week 1. If you don't want it at noon, it's going to have to be played week 1, and it's going to have to be played either Labor Day night or the Sunday before Labor Day. And then you'd have to make sure it was in the language of the contract to do so. Because otherwise, Alabama's going to be in the exact same spot Texas is and say, actually, no, we need a full week to prepare for our week 2 opponent. And you didn't put it in the contract. So they'll have an ability to veto it. And what sucks about it is when you go to Tuscaloosa, that's going to be 7:30. Like, you're going to hear Dixieland Delight. You're going to see that place lit up, and you're going to get all of the bells and whistles that come with a Saturday in the South.
Just like Austin this year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's our lot in life to have to carry this big noon window all the time. And I'm not out here saying that the Ohio State-Michigan game shouldn't be big noon. I'm not even out here saying that in a normal world it makes sense for a November 7th game to be big noon. I get it. I'm saying that every game you play that is big in this stadium has to be noon for the rest of your life sucks.
Maybe I feel this way because the big noon doesn't bother me. And I was on record, Bo,
I know
that the Texas game should have been a night game at the shoe. That's a different animal. That's a different bird. But the big noon doesn't bother me. I just think it's so funny that I feel like we as fans are so naive and hold out hope that this isn't going to be the case, because this is going to be the case. When you signed that deal with Fox, you signed everything away. And this is what comes with being the best and being the big boy on the block.
Yeah.
Is you get to do this. You get to carry the water for the Big Ten. And until Ohio State says, hey, Big Ten, we're not going to be everybody's cash cow anymore. We're going to need a little more from us, and we're going to need have a little say in this. Until Ohio State uses its stroke, this is what you're going to get. And the Oregon game, to me, the Oregon game was always going to be at noon.
Yeah.
Because that's just two of the best football programs of the past 20 years, and Fox was going to want that no matter what. So this is not a shock to me. I wasn't surprised by this. I thought going into the year that Ohio State's games against Indiana, Oregon, and Michigan were all going to be big noon, and that was just a given.
And the other thing, too, that no one should be surprised about is because of this, Ohio State and the Horseshoe are going to continue to get hate about it being a wine and cheese crowd and it not being electric, because every single time Ohio State has the opportunity to have a big night game to make the shoe light up. I mean, we saw the Ohio State-Tennessee playoff game.
Yeah, it's awesome.
If you're telling me that's not one of the best playoff or even home game experiences in the entire country, you're crazy. But because Ohio State's going to play Oregon at noon, and because the Ohio State-Michigan game's always at noon, because they never play at the night games, their biggest games, Ohio State continually gets the hate that, oh, yeah, the Horseshoe, it's just kind of an okay stadium. It's big, but it doesn't get loud. Where if they had these night games, it was OSU, Oregon, and they could light it up, I mean, it would change the way that people perceive the Horseshoe.
But that's bogus. Like, that thing is bogus to me. Because,
it's not big.
But I was at Ohio State, Texas last year.
Yeah.
And that crowd was crazy. And I was also at Grambling. And nobody was excited. But hold on, though. And nobody was excited for Grambling, but that crowd acted accordingly.
That's because they heard the whispers. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your point.
I was just going to say, when there were big plays, when there were key third downs, when there were things in that game where you had to have the crowd, they were doing what they were supposed to.
Let me ask you a question. When Texas was given the opportunity to make sure the game stayed at noon versus at night, what did they choose?
They chose noon.
Yeah. Do you really think it's because they were worried about not having an extra day to prepare for who they had in week 2?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but that crowd was awesome.
Yeah, and sometimes the crowd can overcome. But a night game crowd is built different. It's built different. It's louder. It's more raucous. And it's not just the loudness. It's not just the cool and all of that for all of us. It's for the team. There is an energy at night that you feed off of. When you bring a recruit to a night game and you have all day to entertain them, and then you get that build to that, recruits coming to Ohio Stadium at noon barely get into town in time. If you're from out of state and you got a game on a Friday night, how the hell do you even get there? You're flying on 6 a.m. through Atlanta or somewhere. You're landing. They're jettisoning you there to the game at noon. Do you even get to experience it? Versus night, you get all day, wine and dine, and then you get that experience at night. I've been in that stadium for the Ohio State-Michigan game. I've been in that stadium for any big primetime game that they've played through the years. Ohio State-Michigan's a little bit different, but a night game is, I would put the Horseshoe at night up against any environment in the country. Baton Rouge, the Swamp, Penn State, any of them. It's that raucous for a big night game. It's just different. And everybody knows it. And I'm the one who says it all the time. This is what the money's for. This would be what I would say to the Big Ten if I'm Ross Bjork next time this all comes around. You got two choices. Because we can do the Duke model here. We can do that. We could sell the Ohio State-Michigan game for $150 million to Amazon probably tomorrow if you wanted to. Okay? You could do that tomorrow. So we don't need you. You need us. Here are your two options. If I'm Ross Bjork, we need a lot more money. A lot more money than everybody else because we're carrying the weight of this damn thing. So this is going to be really unbalanced. So UCLA making 76? No. You make 46. You go make 46. We need to make 130. A lot more money. Not a little more, a lot more if we're the ones carrying the weight on all of this. Or you got to give us a veto. You got to give us one veto a year where we get to control one game a year that we want. No one's ever going to mess with the Ohio State-Michigan game. You got the best rivalry in sports. You got it every single year at noon. Outstanding. But we get one veto. We get one game a year that we say, nope, not that one. And honestly, you should probably do both. If you're Bjork, you might want to ask for both. Because there's fatigue with all of this. And it is going to suck to have Bama be noon here and be at night down there. You know what's coming. Light show, all of that stuff. It's going to go viral, all the things that happen. Look how great it is down here. We're going to have to deal with it. That's what's coming. All right, we'll continue with this. The Memorial Tournament hitting year 50. The Golden Bear in town getting us set for a tradition around here unlike any other. That as well coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible. But Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the Columbus community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Some choose the fast way, others the easy way. But you do things the right way, like Exmark mowers and Boss Brothers Power Equipment. Exmark builds the world's finest zero-turn mowers, providing a legendary quality of cut, dependability, along with an experience that makes mowing feel like anything but work. Because if it's worth doing right. Stop by one of Boss Brothers' 3 convenient locations in Powell, Sunbury, or Marysville and discover the Exmark mower that will give your lawn the cut it deserves. Boss Brothers Power Equipment, delivering enjoyment in mowing since 1989.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want.
So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Tee to Green with Skip Mossick.
Saturday, we'll chat with this year's Memorial Tournament honoree David Graham, plus local pros Ben Kern and Jared Jones, who both qualified for next week's PGA Championship.
Tee to Green with Skip Mossick. Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. There's a lot of window companies out there. If you need window replacement, I want you to go with my guys, the guys that I trust, Universal Windows Direct, because right now when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. And there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus, 24 months with no payments and no interest and a $500 bonus off your home improvement project. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Call 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The show that understands the importance of a situational beverage. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Oh, guys, it's time to do something we've all thought about at one point or another. Time to upgrade that road trip. Good folks at RCD are having their open house sale. It is on now. It continues through tomorrow. You can shop 850 plus RVs, all trusted brands. Plus, they'll have free maintenance seminars, free financing incentives, and more. And get this, when you buy any in-stock camper, they're going to give you a $1,000 RCD gift card. If you buy a motorhome, that becomes $1,500 on that gift card. There are no limits in the RV life. It's just you, the family, the freedom to go anywhere, no crowds, no renting a car, no airports. My God, what a dream that must be. Get to RCD RV's open house sale. It started May 2nd. It runs through the 9th, which is tomorrow. Start planning your adventure today. Tell them Bo sent you. They'll take care of you on that side of things. Big week this week. We had the Memorial Day Media Day. Bake, did you get to play?
Well, no, I was here yesterday.
No, I know, but
they
had
had 2 days ago.
It was Wednesday. It was Tuesday. They have 2 flights. They have a morning flight.
I was not out there. I believe it was Scotty Vegas, Timmy Hall, and AR were representing the station.
When are they going to spread that around?
I don't know. I didn't even know it was happening. Just like
would you have liked to have played Jack's Place?
Well, Bake? I mean, of course I would have.
Have you played?
I have never played.
Isaiah, do you golf?
I do golf. I would have loved to have played. Bake, would you have been able to behave at Jack's Place yesterday? You're making it through all 18 holes?
Easy. Oh, yeah. That was there's no expectations in anything like that, or we would have been just fine.
Solid.
Well, I don't know Bake's about solid. Right now.
No, but you'd be all right.
We're not in mid-season form yet. Still preseason.
Here's what you realize. I
would have made sure my coach was there, though. That's for sure.
You have a swing coach?
No, but if I had just taking a little shot at Tyvus.
You would have started the game with your coach.
He was positive about your play, Isaiah. He said you were one of the lone bright spot. The other 2 were brutal, he said.
Well, it's one of those things when you're surrounded by a bunch of 4s, you look better than you are, probably.
You're the lacrosse one, though. Rhyme Time's supposed to be the hooper. Cole's got all the size. What happened?
It was great because the expectations for me were so low. And so when I came in, Reimer had all the huge expectations. Cole's like 6'5". I was just the +1. So nobody thought I was going to be good. That was the best part.
He's the lacrosse guy, so he's the one that's still in shape.
That's true.
The other guys were out of breath in no time.
Out of shape. Yeah. A lot of similarities between basketball and lacrosse, too, with all the cutting and the spacing and all the things that go with it, the screen game, all of that. So all of that works. All right. I'm going to make sure, Bake, I feel like next year I'm getting you the Memorial Media Day, if that's something you'd like to do.
I mean, we'd love it. So
okay. All right. Well, I'm going to make that happen for you. We got to spread this thing around. AR's probably got the record. No. Dommy's got the record.
Yeah.
Dommy's got the record of the most Media Day plays in the history of the Memorial Tournament. Paul Moose Spahn, legendary sports director, Channel 10, had it. I think he played in every single one. and covered every single Memorial tournament. And Dami's played in a lot of them. I'm not sure if Dami played this year.
Yeah, he was out there. Well, I don't know if he played. He was
I know
out
he saw
there.
Jack, but he always sees Jack, but I don't know if he played. It is, I've played it in the fall, and I've played Muirfield, been lucky enough to play it in the fall, and been lucky enough to play it in the media outing. At the media outing, when it is wet and the rough is up in preparation for the Memorial Tournament, which is coming, in a month, it's the hardest thing you've ever done in your life in golf. Like, whatever you shoot at your place, add 10. Easy. There's times when you'll hit it, you'll miss a fairway, and they have big fairways, so if you miss them, it's on you. But if you miss a fairway, and I've missed them plenty of times because I'm terrible, there's times you can't even advance it out of the grass. You have a hard time finding it in there. You just have no idea. And the other thing that's really cool about it, and I think this is why it's so cool they do these type of media day things. I played in one of these at Sawgrass 2 years ago. But one of the things that's really cool about it is it gives you now see what they see. And you've been to the Memorial Tournament 100 times, or even if you haven't, if you watch it on TV, you have no idea how hilly it is until you start playing it. And then you realize what it's all about. The idea, and we'll be out there broadcasting live as we always do. It's one of my favorite weeks of the year, weather permitting, and it's a week later, so hopefully all of that helps a little bit. It's never something I don't consider when I'm out there, how lucky we are that Jack was born here. Because you get the greatest golfer of all time, and then he built this thing, and now we're talking about 50 years of it. He was available earlier this week and reflected on 50 years of the Memorial.
First of all, for me to be here 50 years is pretty special to start with. Started when I was 36 years old. I'm 86 years old now. And, I've enjoyed every year of it. It's been great. It's been watching it grow, watching it blossom into what it's become. And it's very, very special. When we started this tournament, outside of about 6 Ohio State football games, there wasn't much going on in Columbus, Ohio. That's where I'm from. It's what I intended to do. I set out to create something for Central Ohio, and people have supported me all my life, and I think we've accomplished that, and I think we're happy we've done it. It's been a labor of love, and I think the city's love having it here.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Just look at, you guys are, Isaiah, you grew up here, right?
Yep.
So you probably don't have much point of reference on Dublin because of your age, like before. But Dom tells that story all the time about going out there and nothing but farmland. And now look at all of that. And I don't know if any of it happens without Jack and Muirfield Village and all that came with it.
And you think about, too, and people talk about this, how incredible the Memorial is. And it is great that Jack was born here. But imagine if the Memorial was in California. They would talk about it like it's sacred ground than it is in Ohio right now.
Why do you say that?
Because it feels like, because it's in the Midwest in here, like it's a cool tournament, but I don't feel like it gets the hype that it should nationally every single year.
I'll push back on that. I think most people, like, if you watch Golf Channel, like, most people have a reverence for it that is similar to, that for the longest time, like, a lot of people, they treat them like it's a major. I think most people put it in line with, like, Sawgrass, and I don't know what else is on that level. They always are excited to go to, like, Torrey Pines. The Genesis is always good out in Los Angeles. But I disagree. I think for the people who follow golf, there's incredible reverence for the way that they handle it, the show that they put on, the tournament, the course. The course is a top 100 course, and it has been forever. I think for the most part, it gets kind of the respect. I think it's thought of in golf terms as in that group of tournaments that's just shy of being a major.
Yeah, it's been, a lot of people have said it's the 5th major for a long time. And I understand Isaiah's point there about that, but I think because it's Jack and the reverence that there is in the golf world for Jack, I believe it can get over that, it's just an Ohio type thing. And Jack even talks about it this week. Like, he thinks they, do stuff better than Augusta, actually.
He said that?
Yeah, he said that. So
do you have it?
Yeah, we've got it right here.
Play it, yeah.
We started out trying to do everything that the Masters did. I think frankly, be very honest, I think we do things better than the Masters does. And, I think we take care of the players better, and I think we take care of the fans better. And I think my own personal opinion, happen to like the golf course better. But that's all right. I mean, I'm in Columbus now, too. If I'm in Augusta, I might say something else.
Jeez, Jack. Guess Jack won't be hitting that ceremonial first shot next year at Augusta.
Nah,
he's probably the one guy who can get away with that. Probably the one who could get away with it. There's not anybody else who could. He's 86. Says what's on his mind. God bless him. Love you, Jack. Changes are coming to the postseason in college athletics. We'll get into that in the second hour. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Tom's Garage Doors. Tom's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
I started my first business at 12 years old, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I thought I was crushing it until my buddy down the street undercut me by $2. But he didn't just cut the price, he cut corners too. That's when I learned if you do the job right, people trust you, and integrity beats profit. People care more about how you show up and whether you do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we crush it, and we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and the spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Because when you care about the people you serve, you work harder, and it shows. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com. And yeah, we still beat the other guy.
Tom's Garage Doors. Tom's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. I found it faster than anyone. After 4 seconds, I stood up and screamed, "I found Nirvana! I win!" They asked me to leave. I guess they don't respect winning. Bet365 does, though. New customers get $200 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
BMI Federal Credit Union is celebrating their 90th anniversary all year long with monthly sweepstakes. Get in on your chance to win free gas for a year when you lower your car payment with a BMI FCU auto loan. Apply today at bmifcu.org/gas.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I talk to you about Weed Man every year. Why? Simple. Number one, I use it. Number two, it works. You want to get those lawn roots thick, baby, because when that happens, they resist weeds, disease, and insects, and they're using top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking golf course quality. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will take care of you. Proudly serving Central Ohio and our Dayton friends. Call your local office, 614-733-3747, weedman.com.
Sun, splashes, and nonstop fun await at Zoombezi Bay. Get your season pass for unlimited thrills, including our all-new conservation tower. Buy now at ZoombeziBay.com.
Always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to be able to run and run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
When it comes to your roof, there's really one team to call, Newman Roofing. From the first call to the final nail, our team of professionals will be there every step of the way, answering any questions you have throughout the entire process. So give Newman Roofing a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com.
We got a higher home appraisal after we put away our African art and family photos.
Has this happened to you because of race or national origin? Contact HUD at hud.gov/fair housing. A message from HUD and the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Baker. What a difference a week makes. The Cincinnati Reds are now in last place in the NL Central after losing 7 straight. They fall 8-3 to the Cubs in Wrigley yesterday. The Reds start a home series with the Houston Astros tonight at 6:10. The Guardians, though, they're in first place in the AL Central. They beat the Royals 8-5 as Isaiah claps. The Guardians back at Progressive Field tonight, taking on the Minnesota Twins at 7:15. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 0-5 on the road in the playoffs so far. They fall to the Detroit Pistons 107-97 last night. Detroit leads that best of 7 series 2-0. Game 3 is Saturday afternoon, 3 up in Cleveland. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Los Angeles Lakers 125-107 last night. This one's sponsored by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling, together to serve you better at thewaterworks.com.
The best hair on the air. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a Friday. Bacon, and I'm going to get you on there for Media Day next year. But Paul reaching out and saying he can offer on social, Paul Hobart reaching out, he's willing to offer preseason golf training for the crew before Media Days. So if we go play as a show next year, then he's willing to give us a little tutorial.
Oh,
so that's a win.
I mean, we got to get Reese involved here, but does
Reese golf?
I don't believe he does.
I don't think he does.
But we got to teach him. We got to learn him up.
He wants to play.
I mean, that works too.
I was here when it happened, so.
I was here when it happened. That's all you need.
I'm in today.
Lacrosse, basketball, golf. What can he do?
It's all there.
Versatile.
Ready to go. That was wild. Look, Jack's 86, man. If you're just joining us, Jack's saying Muirfield better than the Masters on a great many things. So that's an attention getter. 86 years old, though. You're long past caring.
You got to be your own salesman, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We are headed to a 24-team playoff in college football. It's just a reality that. And we'll get to. We kind of know why all of these things are happening, but it's absolutely happening. This week, earlier, we get it officially done that there will be 76 teams in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. To me, once they went to 68, I don't really care, because basically what you're dealing with is you're going to have just more play-in games. Is what the way that it's going to be to me. And I've covered the first 4, and I've covered the NCAA tournament, and I've said this a million times. The first 4 is not the NCAA tournament. You can call it that all you want. It's not. Dayton does a fine job. They put on a nice show. The people there are awesome. It's a great barn to play basketball in, but there isn't a person over there that feels like they're in the NCAA tournament. None. So as far as I'm concerned, the tournament's still 64, and the tournament is still going to kick off on that Thursday, and this stuff is going to be played on Monday and Tuesday. And quite honestly, unless your team's in it, I really don't think you're going to pay a whole lot of attention to it. Now, basketball heads are going to watch it, and I'll probably watch a little of it if there's an intriguing matchup. It'll be background noise a little bit. But in terms of the feel of the NCAA tournament, I don't think it's going to feel any different.
You're right. It's probably not going to. We're not even going to notice it all. The bracket looks dumb and weird.
Does look dumb.
But as you mentioned, most people aren't paying attention to the bracket until Thursday at noon. And guess what? ESPN and CBS Sports, they're not either, because they're not changing their tournament challenge apps. They're going to keep it just the way it was.
No.
So you're right in the aspect that most of us aren't going to notice. I think it's interesting that they're calling it the opening round. And then,
call it whatever they
Thursday at noon is the first round. But wasn't it before?
Oh, wait.
It was the first round in Dayton with the first 4, and then it was the second round.
You're right.
Now they're changing the wording a little bit with everything.
Like opening round versus first.
Yeah.
Love semantics. Yeah, no. To me, like, the tournament will feel the same. It's still going to feel like a 64-team field, and it'll all start on Thursday. Ross Dellinger reporting in. You want to know why it happened? Always follow the money. Ross Dellinger with this: the NCAA tournament expansion will add $300 million in additional revenue over the final 6 years of the contract with television partners Warner Brothers Discovery and CBS. So that works out to an extra $50 million a year that will be divvied out now among 78 teams versus 68. Obviously, probably still a net win, but that's kind of where that is. When you see that $300 billion number initially, you're like, wow, that's a lot. But you're going to be splitting it. You're going to be splitting $50 million a year between 78 teams, and so it's helpful, certainly, in an era where we have to find money. They found some here. So to me, it's not going to feel a whole lot different to me. That is not the same argument that I can make for the college football playoff going to 24 teams. I can't make that argument that it's not going to feel the same. This is going to feel dramatically different. A 12-team playoff felt dramatically different than a 4-team playoff. A 4-team playoff felt dramatically different than the BCS. The BCS felt dramatically different than the bowl. But this is something else entirely when you're talking about 24 teams getting into a playoff. I mean, we can't possibly prepare for what is coming. We know why this has happened. Same reason that the NCAA basketball tournament has expanded. It's always and perpetually about the money. We have laid out on this program why coaches are all of a sudden behind it, because it's going to change the narrative that determines success for their programs. Joel Klatt was on the next round, and he weighed in on why the coaches, so many of them, have come around on a 24-team playoff.
Most, not all, but most would be in favor of a 24-team playoff. Why? Why, guys? Why all of a sudden is that to change? Yeah. It's about the definition of success. It's about the opportunity. You go way back into the history of college football. Now it feels like the way back machine. You could say, well, we went to a bowl game, and coaches would keep jobs and get contracts based on the fact that they went to a bowl game. And I've talked about this a lot, and I think what really hurt college football for about a decade was the fact that it was just a 4-team playoff. Because the other bowl games lost their validity completely, and yet we had minimized the definition of success to just 4 spots. And as we've expanded the playoff, everyone's like, oh, wait, you can get extensions by being even just in the playoff consideration or making the playoff. Even if you lose badly in the playoff, you can get a contract extension. Now, all these coaches are like, 24 doesn't sound that bad, guys. Heck, 24, because why? It's preservation.
Of course. Yeah, we've laid that out. It's how you determine success for your operation. It is exactly what James Franklin was doing at Penn State. James Franklin at Penn State, they kept saying, well, you don't make the playoff. James Franklin didn't. He tried. He did recruit Justin Fields. He did recruit some big-time players there. He tried. He just couldn't beat Ohio State and Michigan consistently. So what did James Franklin do? He said, oh, you're going to give me a choice that I don't have to play Ohio State and Michigan? Yeah, I'm good. We're Penn State. We're unrivaled. We don't have to play anybody. Nobody's worthy of being our rival. We don't need to play Ohio State and Michigan every year. And then what does that do for James Franklin? That made his path when he was at Penn State easier to make the playoff. And now all of a sudden, if you're the Penn State community, you go, hey, we got a playoff team. Nobody over there was going, well, we're not playing Ohio State. Of course we're a playoff team. Nobody over there is doing that. By the way, they're going to benefit this year. Go look at Penn State's schedule this year. If Matt Campbell's worth a pinch of salt, they should win 10 games, and they'll make the playoff in doing so. But that's all this is. It's just changing the bar, the goalpost on success.
I think the argument is correct for the Illinois, the Iowa States, the Utahs, the Michigan States, the Purdues of the world, teams like that, the Vanderbilts. Mm-hmm. I think that argument is correct. But you mentioned James Franklin. The moment he didn't make it, he got fired. Or the moment he wasn't going to make it, he got fired. And I think that this isn't going to be the narrative for the Ohio States of the world, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the teams that feel like they should be winning national championships. I don't think just making a 24-team college football playoff is going to be the good for those coaches. But for the next tier of programs, yeah, maybe. But If you don't, like if you're Florida, and I know Florida has been down, but if you're Florida and Summerall comes in there and he's any kind of good, are they going to be okay with just making the playoff every year? Or eventually, hey, we need some results or you're out of here? Or if they miss it 1 year, is he gone?
They should never miss it.
Correct.
And you're right on the Ohio State Bama mentality that won't change. But how many teams does that really affect? 4 or 5? Like, who are programs that wake up and go win a national championship? This one, Georgia, Bama, probably for the time being because of Saban, but that's not going to continue. I don't know if Texas wakes up saying go win a national championship. Oklahoma might. Oklahoma might say that. Notre Dame, it's not that many.
Like, if this thing goes to 24, and you're right, there's some teams that should be in it no matter what.
Yeah.
But if this thing goes to 24 and Lincoln Riley doesn't get in, does he get fired?
I don't know. Well, and then when you bring up a question like that, then there's nuance to it, too. Like, do they have the money to pay off the buyout, all of that stuff? If there were no financial ramifications, probably. There's got to be some pressure on him at some point to win. I'll tell you what we're going to do coming up next. I'm going to go to the final AP poll of last season, and we're going to fill out this bracket. And if you're one of those folks who thinks that there's going to be a bunch of group of 5 in this bracket, I got news for you. There aren't. There's going to be 1, maybe 2, and then it starts to get really gross about who's a playoff team. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Not all dental practices are the same. Most do a little bit of everything.
Primarily maintenance and teeth cleanings.
But where do you go when you need serious restoration? Who can give you a brand new smile that's comfortable?
At Runyon Dental Group, we are trained experts in restorative dentistry.
Restoration is all we do.
We can give you a gorgeous, new, comfortable, healthy smile. No matter what the condition of your teeth.
Even if you have no teeth, and we can do it comfortably.
Runyon Dental Group.
How do you make a UDF ice cream quake? Easy. Pick any flavor of UDF ice cream, add your favorite mix-ins, and you've got a quake. Now, how do you pick your flavors and mix-ins? That's the hard part. Ice cream quakes, only at United Dairy Farmers.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org.
When it's time to ask life's biggest question, make sure your ring says it all. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar, and we've been helping couples say yes for over 78 years. From brilliant cuts to better prices, the quality and selection of our diamonds is unmatched. Because diamonds aren't just our business, they're our legacy. Visit us at Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or Easton Town Center and learn more at diamondcellar.com. Bigger diamonds, better prices, guaranteed.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Join Join our resident gambling degenerates, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money, Sunday mornings at 9.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Call today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you want and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, foreclosures, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Call today and speak with me, John Kozik, for an all-cash offer and the help you need. At 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000, TurboTrackRealty.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We will see a mostly cloudy day as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures will soar into the upper 60s. Could see some stray showers out there, but the better chance of rain overnight tonight as our lows get down into the 50s. Things should start to clear out Saturday morning. Otherwise, we'll see more sunshine throughout the day, breezy winds, and highs in the low 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. After putting up with Dom Tiberi for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and we're proudly brought to you, as always, by our great friends at Diamond Cellar. There's still time. Mom's Day is Sunday. Go check them out. 2 locations, East and Sawmill. They will take care of you. They've done it for nearly 80 years. They're my buddies. They can be yours as well. I'll tell you what, I about threw up filling out this bracket, 24 teams based on the AP. And I don't think it's going to go this way because I don't think you're going to let this many group of 6, I guess, teams into this thing. But if the way that if you can picture this as you're driving around, you're listening at work, podcasting, whatever, just pick like this in your head. The top 8 seeds are all getting buys. So they're all waiting on matchups. And then from a bracket perspective, just envision it this way. It's going to be set up so that the 1 plays the 8, the 4 plays the 5, and then those 2 winners play each other in a semifinal, those 2 brackets. A 2 plays a 7, a 3 plays a 6. So last year at the final AP poll, and I went that one because they have the others receiving votes and the college football playoff does not, Indiana would have been the 1, Oklahoma would have been the 8, Texas Tech would have been the 4, Oregon the 5, Georgia the 2, Texas A&M the 7, Ohio State the 3, Ole Miss the 6. So these are your first round matchups from last year.
When did you take this from? The very end of the year?
AP. No, not the end of the year because that's the playoff poll. I took it the end of the regular season.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. After the college football playoff, or after the conference championship games, because that's when they would have seeded it.
Gotcha.
Right? So if you follow, think of it that way, after conference championship weekend, they're going to seed this thing. Firstly, I think they'll get rid of the conference championship games, but for the sake of this exercise, we kept them in. So these are the matchups that would feed into these teams. Tulane would play USC to play Indiana. Georgia Tech, Notre Dame to play Oklahoma. Virginia, Vanderbilt to play Texas Tech. Arizona, BYU to play Oregon. Michigan to play Utah to play Georgia. North Texas to play Miami to play Texas A&M. And that matchup actually happened, the Miami-Texas A&M one. James Madison would play Texas to play Ohio State. So you would have had a rematch there of an earlier season game. Navy to play Bama to play Ole Miss. Now, I do not think that the bottom of this would have had Navy, North Texas. I don't think any of those teams would have got in. I don't think they let James Madison in either. I think they're going to let Tulane in, and then it's going to be Houston, Iowa, and Tennessee are going to be at the bottom of this thing because the big guys are going to run this thing. So that's the way it's going to go. When you look at that and you start thinking about those games, And yes, people will want them because it's live sports, but is anybody clamoring for any of those first-round matchups? I mean, guys, some of these teams are 4-loss teams. A great many of them are 3-loss regular season teams. Do I need to see Arizona play BYU in a national playoff? Who needs it?
See Arizona play BYU again.
Again. North Texas, Miami. Think about that. And this also illustrates, this little exercise illustrates how critical getting the calendar fixed as quickly as possible is. Who would have been the quarterback at North Texas in a theoretical playoff game last year? Drew Mastmaker. Do you know where he is now?
He is at Oklahoma State. Is that right?
You nailed it.
Followed his coach.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Followed his coach. If they keep the calendar as it is, who's even playing for these teams? You're going to be making coaching hires. Think of the mess that Kiffin, the Ole Miss Kiffin LSU thing was. That's going to be repeated all over here. Now, hell, some of these guys are going to get fired. And still, like, who's the James Madison coaches at UCLA? Who's coaching them? So before you go to 24, that's why I always come back to calendar. Before you go to 24, you have to fix the calendar. Because who's coaching these teams? Who's playing quarterback for these teams?
Well, and Ryan Day talked about this when you talked about it with him earlier this year, is we're making decisions in a silo. We're working on one thing and we're making this decision. Like they made this decision on the transfer portal.
Yeah.
But yet they didn't look into, well, we're playing games until January 25th. Right. And, well, that's just going to affect a few people. Well, now you're going to expand the college football playoff. So it's going to affect a lot more people. And, yeah, you would think that somebody would step in here and be like, whoa, hold on a second. Has anybody thought of this? Has anybody thought we're trying to play meaningful football games and we have free agency everywhere, not only with our players but our coaches?
Yeah. And you have to make those coaching hires at that time because of the portal and recruiting and all of it. So it's all just backwards. All of it is. And the only way that you're going to prevent a 24-team playoff, and by the way, nobody's asking for this. Fans aren't. Fans aren't asking for it. Coaches are asking for it because of what we laid out. But there isn't a fan who's clamoring to see any of these games. Nobody needs to see USC Tulane play. No one wants that. Hell, I don't know if people at USC want that. No one's clamoring for it. But so the only way that you're going to prevent this from going to 24, and it's going to get bigger, so 16 is going to be the only olive branch we have on this, and the SEC, the commissioner's fighting for it, but now their coaches aren't. The only way that you're going to get to 16 is if somehow, despite 8 less teams coming in, and 8 less teams represent less inventory, that number can be just as big with 16 versus 24. That's the only chance you have. And what 16 does, and what I like about 16, is it eliminates the buys for those top 8 seeds. Those are gone. That's what it does. So that's what I like. I can't stand buys in playoffs at all. Everybody, to me, should play. Level playing field for everybody. So if you do it that way, the 16 last year would have been Indiana, Tulane. It would have been Georgia, Utah. It would have been Ohio State, Texas. It would have been Texas Tech, Vanderbilt. It would have been Oregon, BYU. It would have been Ole Miss, Bama. It would have been Texas A&M and Miami. And it would have been Oklahoma and Notre Dame. That's what a 16-team playoff would have looked like last year. And I don't think that is all great either. But
are they throwing these buys in here to try to make it like, oh, we're going to give you some, this is your regular season reward? Because the regular season, when you do this, to me, means absolutely nothing anymore. Like, we already know, and we had this last year to an extent. Like, the Ohio State-Texas game this year in week 2, that's a big game. We're all excited for it. Mm-hmm. It really means nothing. Other than, hey, it's a big game, week 2, get everyone fired up, we'll make a lot of money off this. But it really means nothing. Whoever loses that game,
Yeah.
Oh, well, no biggie. We'll still get in the playoff. And then that's going to go. That's going to go even further if we go to 24.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Ohio State-Michigan game, somebody's going to sit out eventually. And I know we talked about that, and we're like, oh, this is far-fetched. And I've said this before. There's got to be a point. I don't know if anybody remembers the store Ames, but these Ames stores came on the scene, and they built a bunch of stores. And they're like, we're making all this money. It's great. If we keep adding stores, we're going to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, eventually it flamed out. And I understand that it was a bad business model, and there's more involved in it to that. But at what point do you keep chasing greed and adding more, and it crushes what made everybody love your product?
And to your point too, Bake, the constant change doesn't help either. Like when every single season we're wondering, well, what format are we under this year? What format are we under next year? Like when you go into Ames, at least you know what they have in there. You know what you're searching for in the store. Every single time you come in, it's not going to be different. And so that's the part of it that's frustrating for me is I wish they could land on a format for the entire landscape to be able to keep with, because we're going to have this weird area of college football when we look back in the history books between 2014 and 2020, however long this goes on for, where it's like, well, that one year we were in a 14, then we moved to 12. The stats are all really weird because we weren't playing as many games as we used to, and now we're playing more games. Like, this isn't making for a good future for college football to look back upon this period when Ohio State's been really good. They've been really great. But how do you compare a team that played in the BCS era to a team that played in the 14 playoff to a team that played in the 12 team, and then now to continue to expand? So that's the part that's frustrating for me.
The good news is Ohio State's going to be good in any format, so it won't affect us in that sense. You're kind of bulletproof.
Yeah,
we're
selfishly keep it at 4.
We're still spoiled.
we are. Don't think about it. If you were college football gods and you could say, this is the perfect number of teams, go.
4.
Okay.
I would say 8.
I think both of those are really good. 8 probably is a little more CYA in terms of, are there 8 teams? I mean, I'm old school in this sense. I actually think the BCS got it right. I like 2 because I used to go to BCS bowl games for teams who weren't playing for national title, and it was awesome. It was really cool. We're not going back to any of this, but yeah.
And I know
both of those numbers. Go ahead, Vic.
I know we talked about this before, and I think people hated the BCS because it was 2. The BCS formula would crush a playoff.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely would. Tim May in 2 minutes, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. This is the time of year to enjoy some nice weather. Usually the temperature's pretty good. Those nice spring days where you get outside, you just feel that breeze. It's awesome. But coming soon, it's the hot months of summer, and we know in those months, you're going to want your air conditioning running. You're going to want your windows to keep that cold air inside your house. You don't want to lose money running your air conditioner constantly, all because your builder grade or old windows are just not getting the job done. That's where Window Nation comes in. Window Nation's got their buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. You can replace all the windows in your home for summer and get half of them for free. Plus, you can get 0 down payment and no payments or interest for 2 years. And of course, all Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Schedule your fast free consultation now. WindowNation.com. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. WindowNation.com.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop. If you want to upgrade your summer road trip, you got to see my friends at RCD RV. Their open house sale going on May 2nd through the 9th includes free maintenance seminars, financing incentives, accessory discounts, and more. Plus, shop over 850 RVs from all the top brands. Need more? Buy any in-stock camper and get a $1,000 RCD gift card. Or go motorhome and grab $1,500. The RCD RV open house sale, May 2nd through the 9th. Don't miss it. Visit rcdrv.com and start planning your adventure now.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long, so you can reset, recover, and leave feeling stronger than when you came in. Join the club for just $1 down, $15 a month, and get free massage amenities for the month of May. No commitment. Deal ends May 15th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie. And once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Friday, 10:30, we like to talk to our good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show with Clay Hall on FanStream Sports. Had Ryan and RJ on earlier this week, and then you had a quarterback whisper, I see. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, well, I had them on the same show. Thanks for listening. Brad
I just saw the clips. I'm a busy man. I got 60. You're coming at me. You're retired.
I know. I'm not coming at you, man. You know how much I like you and appreciate you and your family, and the way y'all blossomed into one of the great youth sports.
That's better. A little bit more.
Youth sports supporters, because you pay money to play youth sports.
Oh boy, don't I?
As my son Kyle and his wife are finding out with my grandsons, but heck, they've got them playing 3 different sports this spring. It's kind of crazy: soccer, flag football, and t-ball and coach pitch. I mean,
holy smokes,
dude! Saturday, you ought to see their schedule. But I digress. That's a good thing about having a grandpa who cares.
There you go. That's very good.
By the way, I'm about to go record my Friday podcast. It's going to be with Nicole Sheeran. You ever heard of her?
I do know her. Yeah. She likes leather jackets.
I know you know her very extremely well. She even has a puffy leather jacket, which I think is pretty sweet. But that's
which is if you could. You're a leather jacket guy. I've seen you in a leather jacket. Used to wear one all the time on the beat.
Yeah, but I wasn't very good with them because they would start. I would wear them till they wore out. You know what I mean? I kind of looked like that's something you'd buy not
that's perfect.
At a high end Nordstrom or something, but more of like the Goodwill thrift store. But yeah, I like leather jackets because they're all purpose.
I feel like you would thrive. I think in your retirement here, your pseudo retirement that you're in, I need you in like one of those leather bomber jackets that like the admirals of the Naval Academy wear. That's what I think you need.
Bad luck, right? That might be bad luck right now.
Fair.
If you follow my drift.
I do follow your drift. Yeah.
Yeah. Connect that with podcast. But anyway, I digress.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah. Oh no! I mean, I tell you what, I like that Top Gun jacket Timmy Hall's got. I mean, that's his wife set him up right with that little gift. I don't know if you've seen her now, but it's pretty sweet. But go ahead now.
So, well, I have one. I've told you all of this, but the former Secretary of the Navy is a buddy of mine, and he sent me a Navy version, the official Navy version of the Tom Cruise jacket. I've got it. It's got all the patches, all of it, and he sent it to me from the Navy.
By the way, I was wearing Ray-Bans back when I was like 15, because I flew airplanes way back when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And learned how to fly and all that kind of stuff. And I used to wear Ray-Bans when they weren't cool. But when you wear glasses, they don't have clip-on Ray-Bans for some reason. I think they're really missing out there on the market. Missing
out on that?
Yeah.
You can get prescription sunglasses, you know.
Oh, I've got prescription sunglasses, but they don't look like clip-on Ray-Bans. Let me just put it.
No, but you can go get Ray-Ban prescription sunglasses.
Oh, I did not know that, but that's probably $700 or $800, and I'm not spending that much money on anything.
Well, all the money you got, all your retirement you're in, you got time. You can go do that.
Gotta start spending those RMDs.
You can't give all that money to those kids. Let me ask you this.
No,
Speaking of money.
Yeah.
It's official. We have 78 teams in the college basketball tournament, and which I'm not a fan of, but it's not going to bug me too much.
78 or 76?
I don't care. Whatever. They're all going to play into 64, which is when I'm going to start paying attention to it, unless a team I care about is playing in this thing. We're headed to 24 in football. I think it sucks. Like it. I think it absolutely sucks. I understand why they're doing it, because this goes back to the prescription sunglasses. It's all about the money.
Yep.
Is there any way to derail this thing? And is there any way to – you think about – we talked earlier this week about people who love college football, and you and I love college football about as much as anybody I know.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do to stop this, or would you?
I don't know. I think what has to stop it is the economy. You know what I mean? That's basically it. When people are, I know I've said this a million times, so I said 1,031. When they started referring to college sports as inventory for the networks, the word inventory, that's when you were headed down this path. You're eventually going to get here. You got to, inventory, like in a grocery store, you got to have your premium products and got to have your loss leaders. And the bottom line is I don't see it stopping. You and I talked about this many years ago. If you were going to expand from 4, it would have been 8. It wouldn't have been 12. I don't know where they keep coming up with these odd numbers.
Me either.
And
God, I hate it.
I've told you a million times, it's not fair in a college football playoff world. And people can throw the NFL at me, and I go, it's not the same world, for somebody to have a bye. Now, what you have to do is, if there's too much jeopardy, meaning with conference championship games, and you've got to bite the bullet, are we going to have conference championship games, or are we going to have a 24-team playoff? Are you kidding me? I mean, 24, that means some team would have to play 5 games, could run the table and play 5 games and win the national championship. Ohio State won 4, which was a maximum a couple of years ago. That's wear and tear. They were lucky. The old knock on wood, that's what they should have tapped every time they went out on the field, was a big chunk of wood during that run, because they really didn't lose anybody. But that's rare. I mean, think about Fernando Mendoza getting hit at the goal line against Miami. Wow. How many of those hits can you take? And granted, that was a championship game, but Caden Curry did the same number on him in the Big Ten championship game. So, he could, another way that hits Fernando Mendoza, and he might have been out for the playoffs. So, playoffs, but I've always thought 8. I mean, why you jump from, in 3 or 4 years, you jump from 4 to 24 makes no sense to me, except it is a cover your, posterior situation for really the big-time programs, because they're going to get in, in 24. Now, but that's going to, in 4 years, going to change the expectations. Okay, you're in there, but what'd you do? Just like with Ohio State last year. You get knocked out in their first-round game, which was a quarterfinal, and, people were up in arms. Well, they only lost to the 2 teams that played for the national championship. That's not really a bad outing when you think about it, just like Indiana the year before. They can do the same thing. Crazy.
Yeah, Tim, I think the thing that is what you just hit on it, I outlined this in a previous segment, but this is basically what James Franklin was doing at Penn State, right? When he didn't want to play Ohio State, Michigan.
Correct.
Everybody at Penn State said you can't make the playoffs. So he said, well, I don't want to play Ohio State and Michigan anymore, and I'm going to find my way to the playoff. That was his gamble. Correct. Now, he didn't get there to survive it, but that is kind of what's happening here is I did this. I went off last year's AP. I mean, you aware, like, Michigan's a playoff team if they do 24? Yeah. That Michigan team that we saw? Like, some of these teams at the bottom are playoff teams. Is absolutely, like, Georgia Tech is a playoff team all of a sudden. Arizona and BYU playing again. UVA playing Vanderbilt. Those are playoff teams. Those teams deserve to play for a national title. What in the hell are we doing? Tim, the other part of this that makes no sense is, I mean, several teams, if you went off of last year, would have coaching changes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the Lane Kiffin thing is going to happen 6 times in a 2014 playoff. They don't fit the calendar. Like North Texas would have made the playoff last year if there was 24 as the 23 seed, for God's sakes. Their head coach and quarterback are at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's, you've talked to Ryan. I think you had him on earlier this
Tuesday.
week. That's the point. The point is the calendar. They got to figure out some way to get the calendar right. I mean, what they're trying to do right now is foist a professional NFL professional schedule on college football, which has the parameters of you have to be in school to play our game.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And they do not fit in any form or fashion. Like I don't know if it was you or somebody else I heard earlier this week was talking about this and makes sense. I would push spring football, if that's what you want to call it, let's say extended football practice period to June.
Yes,
and you'd have your transfer portal. You'd have your transfer portal in May after most everybody's semesters are done. You've watched guys in off-season workouts and you're on OTAs, whatever, and you've decided who really still fits and who doesn't and wants to move, then you collect your entire team in June and have 3 weeks of intensity, and then you take a couple weeks off, then you go right into preseason camp. That's really the way you would do it. But
yes.
But it's like they want everything, and really, I say television. Television is providing them quite a reward for making the playoffs and or the college football conference championship games. But you've got to figure out a way for it not to be as taxing as it could be on the last two teams that play for the championship. That's a lot. That's a lot to rely on a 105-man roster. That's a lot to rely on year after year of possibly playing 17, 18 games.
Yeah, they want it like the NFL, except the NFL isn't doing their NFL draft, the scouting combine, and free agency while preparing for playoff games.
Correct.
And that's what we're currently doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I heard Ryan put forth that idea several weeks ago about possibly having a draft, and that makes sense, except that does away with the essence of college football, which is convincing young recruits and current players, you're better off here than you are there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Recruiting. I don't know. It's crazy because if Ohio State doesn't get Caleb Downs in a draft, I mean,
Here's the problem.
That's how folly. Go ahead.
And the big problem is, and we got to run, but the big problem here is the NFL wants parity. College football does not.
Exactly. That's big dude, you just hit the bingo there.
That's
you hit the bingo. That's exactly right. Ohio State fans would not be happy watching a team go 7-5 and make the playoffs.
No way.
Guarantee it.
No chance. Hey, look, great having you as always. Plug your podcast. What do you got going on this week? I saw you had Ryan and RJ. What else you got?
Ryan and RJ. It was pretty cool. And Brad Mandler, the quarterback whisperer. And also, I've got the incomparable Nicole Sheeran here in about 20 minutes as soon as I pick up her Starbucks order.
Very good. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it, man. Always a pleasure, Bo.
There he is, the great Tim May, right here at the Fan. Of course, the Tim May Show with Clay Hall. I think he's working more now that he's retired than he worked when he was actually working. We'll do Thing or Not a Thing coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Bring your landscape back to life with an unbeatable deal from Ohio Mulch. 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. You choose from absolute black, brown, or red to make your flowers pop and your curb appeal shine. Whether you're refreshing flower beds or finishing up that weekend project, Ohio Mulch, they have everything you need to make it look like a pro did it.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections. Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. This is the time. You want to be outside. You need to be outside.
but do you really want to be on your feet if they're killing you? That's why I went to the Good Feet store. I stressed about knowing I would be standing at a multiple-hour event or even playing in a golf tourney where I knew I would be walking. But when I got fitted for my personal arch supports, it changed the game for me in a great way. I honestly feel much better supported and aligned, and it's taken the pressure off my lower back. I could feel the difference instantly in my test walk at the store. Just a solid foundation right from the get-go. And now, every day, everything feels a little better. Their experts will personally fit you like they did me. And do what I did. Take the test walk around the store, and you'll feel the difference. I've learned it all starts with the feet, and when you get the proper support, everything feels better. You can make an appointment online or just stop in the Good Feet store. They're in Grove City or on Polaris Parkway in Westerville, or get started right now at goodfeet.com.
The Fan is headed to the Memorial. Are you ready for 30 hours of live coverage? Oh, it's true, baby.
Sponsored by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. TheWaterworks.com.
The best Memorial coverage, The Fan.
We've all been there. You come home after a long day only to find water dripping from the ceiling. Your roof has decided it's had enough. And now frustration sets in. Another unexpected problem added to your never-ending to-do list. At Newman Roofing, we get it. That's why we make the process simple and stress-free, handling every detail with professionalism, so you don't have to worry and can get back to the things that matter most to you. So, how do you begin? Step 1. Schedule your free estimate by calling our office at 614-NEW-ROOF or visiting our website, newmanroofing.com. Step 2. Meet with one of our trusted representatives who will guide you through the best plan for your home. Step 3. We get to work, and you watch your roof transform before your very eyes. Whether it's your roof, gutters, or siding, the Newman Roofing team is here to guide and support you every step of the way. Call today at 614-NEW-ROOF to schedule your free estimate and experience the Newman Roofing difference. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Bo could quit today and become the school drop-off line coordinator. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Friday. Hit it, guys.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
So you just heard Tim May on the show, and he joins us every Friday at 10:30. Tim May peddling Starbucks to get guests on his podcast. Thing or not a thing?
I mean, you got to go where it is. I'm a little bit I have to say I'm a little bit offended. I've never been asked to be on the Tim May show featuring Clay Hall. Sad. I hate to see it after all these years. Nicole comes in with the fancy leather jackets. Next thing you know, we're with Tim May getting Starbucks.
A definite thing. I think it's a good thing, too. If you're going to ask guests on your show, you might as well get them a little treat. I like it.
Like a small puppy.
I mean, Tim's killing it, so he must be doing something right. That's for sure.
Of course he is. He got 16 jobs after being retired.
For
Somehow he'll end up at the Indianapolis 500 in mid-Ohio.
Well, because he's volunteering.
No, that's the U.S. Open.
For those of you that need a reminder, Mother's Day is this weekend. UConn's head basketball coach Danny Hurley was on the Field of 68 podcast this week, and he said that no matter what he does for his wife this weekend, he's going to be okay because of a forgotten birthday present years ago.
Lose at the buzzer year 2 at Wagner. And we have a great team, 25-win team, and it was a devastating loss. I realized on the way home that it's my wife's birthday and I don't have anything. But the good news is that I'm driving past a Walmart that is a 24-hour Walmart. So I run in there. I got what they had left of the cards. I got her like a cinnamon Yankee candle and a George Foreman grill. And when I handed her bounty over to her, the tears immediately started.
You're now winning.
So anything I do, anything I do this weekend, I mean, literally, I mean, anything I do has just got to be better than that.
Thing or not a thing?
Not tears of joy. So this is a philosophical question. If something like that happens to you, is it better to do what Hurley did and scramble and get something that is a little lesser, or a lot lesser probably, or say, understand that you forgot, and then just flat out lie through your teeth and say, I ordered something, it's just not here yet, I feel so bad. I mean, as a veteran of this, I think it's option B.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would think you would say lost in translation here.
Yeah, we had a shipping issue. They sent the wrong thing. It's coming. This is what it is. Print the picture. That's the way to do it, I think, if you ever are in this spot. Not that I would know. But this is probably not the route to go.
And I would say, too, I'm going to go ahead and just debunk this now. Your previous failures don't lower the bar. They absolutely do not. Especially, I think for Mother's Day, for my mom, my true mom, they can be lowered. She loves me no matter what. There's an understanding there. Now, my fiance, on the other hand, if I messed up last year and this year I'm like, I probably don't have to put in as much work this year, that is not how it goes.
Yeah. I always, on Mother's Day with the boys, I always lean on personal. Like I have them write things to her. We usually go that. And then, unfortunately, Beamsy sends her his ideas. So
she already knows what she's getting this year.
Poor kid. Well, Beamsy sent her his idea. And then Bootsy, what he got her, he opened it in front of her. Because he thinks he's entitled to any package that shows up at the front door. He thinks they're all for him. Because 66% of them are.
Just like a hyena ripping into things.
He really is. Just ripping into things. I go, what are you doing? Oh, I didn't know. Is your name on the package? No, mine is.
On Tuesday, OHSAA Executive Director Doug Ute met with the Ohio High School Basketball Coaches Association, and they presented a shot clock proposal to the OHSAA. Our board is not ready to pass that yet, Doug Ute said, adding that the shot clock is something that is probably 3 to 5 years down the road. This comes on the heels of the Indiana High School Athletic Association failing a 35-second shot clock proposal late last week. The OHSAA does have 11 scheduled shot clock events or tournaments for the upcoming season. Thing or not a thing?
I'm going to lean on you on this, Bake. I think everybody would like a 35-second shot clock. Everybody likes the game played at a little bit faster pace. And we have seen teams like just hold it in the tournament, like just hold it for 2 minutes, which I think sucks when they do stuff like that. But my hunch is that this has to do with logistically, how do you make sure every school in Ohio has a shot clock? I imagine that's the problem.
I do believe that is something, especially in the Indiana vote that came up to this, is rural schools trying to get the shot clocks and have the technology in
even
the
urban
building.
Like any school that, like, it's a cost.
Yeah. I will say this. The boys' game, to me, this seems to be less of an issue because the boys' game seems to be faster paced, and I don't know how many situations where a shot clock would change things unless, as you mentioned, Bo, it's a tight game at the end of a tournament for a state championship or whatever. Then they might hold it for a while. This seems to be more of an issue in the girls' game because you mentioned rural schools. Some of those schools on the girls' side, they'll hold the ball a minute or two at least before they even shoot, and that's how they play all year long.
Yeah. There was on the boys' side, we saw it 2 years ago in the state tournament. Marcus Johnson's Garfield Heights team lost in a regional final. I can't remember who they played, but it was up in Canton, and somebody held it for the whole fourth quarter. They just played keep away for the fourth quarter. So that's one. I don't remember the teams that were involved, but I remember Marcus Johnson was involved, and I remember the game being up in Canton.
But the good thing is, at least on my end, because I would prefer a shot clock for Ohio high school basketball. I would prefer, when it gets to that point, a shot clock for Ohio high school lacrosse as a lacrosse coach. We aren't there yet. We aren't ready for that, but I would love one once they get to the level.
I couldn't agree more.
Once the play gets to the level, there's still some teams that aren't ready for it yet. Just even getting a shot. In the college game, it's 90 seconds. But the holding the ball is a true thing in that sport as well. But seeing they're running 11 experimental shot clocks, that means that it's coming. It's only a matter of time. Indiana bought us some time with them turning it down because Indiana and Ohio are like two branches of the same arm here in the basketball world.
One of those branches sucks.
Yep. But they bought Ohio some time. If they had passed it, they would have more pressure on them. But at some point in time, this is going to change.
I would think on the lacrosse thing, it would be, why couldn't you just do I think it'd be pretty easy. Like they do the penalties are all just, you have somebody do the penalties with
on the timer.
On the timer. Like you could easily say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I mean, you could do it pretty easily, I would think.
Don't most of the lacrosse fields, aren't they usually played on football? So they've already
mostly
got the scoreboard. And
yeah, at the youth level, a lot of them, they aren't, though. That's where it could get a little tricky if you're trying to have the same rules throughout the sport. But yeah, that sucks. I hate that when you just have a 3-minute possession in the fourth quarter of one of these games. I think it's brutal. Final hour of the week coming up next. We kick it off with what we learned. Rookie mini camp in Berea. Joe Burrow showing up in Cincinnati, and Doug Lesmerises all ahead in the final hour. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Spring is here. Now's the time to get your air conditioner ready with a $49 AC tune-up from Columbus Worthington Air. An AC tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Proudly serving Columbus homeowners for 90 years and counting. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Fall is a season of change, and Hinderer Motor Company is turning over a new leaf with big savings. This is Justin Hinderer. Right now, any one of our participating locations is paying up to $3,500 over Kelley Blue Book value. That's right. Drive in your current vehicle and leaf with one of ours today. Don't wait. The leaves are falling and so are the prices. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
Recently, our company's softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win, like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible. But Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the Columbus community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, and a member FDIC.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary right here in Ohio. America 250 Ohio is partnering with communities across the state to bring events and experiences to all 88 counties all year long. Explore Ohio's history on dynamic driving trails, enjoy Ohio-related movie screenings, or attend engaging history talks, plus so much more. See the full calendar of events and discover what's happening near you at america250-ohio.org. Sponsored by the Ohio History Connection, aired by the OAB and this station.
Every year, tens of thousands in Central Ohio choose Columbus State Community College to start what's next. They're earning degrees that open doors to in-demand jobs, stable careers, and real earning power. They're bridging the gap to an affordable university bachelor's degree, avoiding the trap of student loan debt, and moving their lives and our community forward. Columbus State is making Central Ohio stronger. Apply today at cscc.edu.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a groovy, crashing mountain dew. So give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Baker. The Cleveland Cavaliers remain winless on the road this postseason after losing to the Pistons 107-97 in Detroit last night. The Pistons now up 2-0 in the series. Game 3 is Saturday at 3 up in Cleveland. The Oklahoma City Thunder rolled the Los Angeles Lakers 125-107. The Cincinnati Reds are now in last place in the NL Central after losing their 7th straight. They fall 8-3 to the Cubs in Wrigley yesterday. The Reds start a home series with the Houston Astros tonight at 6:10. The Cleveland Guardians there in first place in the AL Central. They beat the Royals 8-5. The Guardians back at Progressive Field tonight, taking on the Minnesota Twins at 7:15. Yesterday, Zach Werenski, for the second year in a row, was named a finalist for the Norris Trophy. That's given to the NHL's best defenseman. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted best credit union for the past 8 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a Friday edition of the program. Gets you a little rookie minicamp check-in in Berea. Joe Burrow showing up down in Cincinnati. Doug Lesmerises coming up in 28 minutes from now. Between now and that, what we learned. Hit it, fellas.
Let me find this one here real quick. Sorry about that.
It's all right, buddy.
For the course of 5 days, you might have gleaned some stuff. Bishop and Friends present What We've Learned This Week.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Make a reservation today at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Well, one of the many that we learned a lot this week. We learned that from the outside looking in, or sort of on the inside looking in, it really sucks rooting for James Harden. It's a tough watch. I don't particularly enjoy this in any way, shape, or form. And there's an inevitability to it. And it did remind me very much of having to root for Karl Malone with the Lakers, of having to root for somebody that you could not previously stand. What was your answer to that one, Bake? Having to root for somebody. Was there a Blue Jacket that you had to root for that you didn't like? Hartnell, I think you used that example.
No, there wasn't a Blue Jacket. I think that was for most people. Mine was Jabril Peppers, just coming to the Browns from Michigan. And then also, like, not just that he was from Michigan, but just thinking that he wasn't very good, that he was a little overhyped. And that was one that I never enjoyed, having him as a Cleveland Brown.
Yeah, is there one for you, Isaiah, in terms of somebody of one of your favorite teams who you can't stand, and then he ended up on your team and you have to root for him?
The one for me, and this was early days for me as a Browns fan, mine would be Paul Kruger when he came over. That would be one that I could not stand when he came to the Browns, but he ended up being pretty decent for us, but I couldn't stand him.
That's a good one. That's really a good one. Think how many people have had to do this with, like, Brad Marchand. Like, imagine being in Florida, and then you love him when you have him. You love him. But yeah, the Kruger one's a good one. The divisional stuff is tough. I always think it was crazy, and I've gotten to know him a little bit, but it feels like Joe Hayden is like the one guy who is still pretty well beloved in both Pittsburgh and Cleveland, and he split his career almost evenly, and both places like him.
He's a good double agent.
That's so crazy, right?
Isn't it?
And it was so weird that they did that to him at the draft. I know Phil Dawson was supposed to be there, but it was awkward.
Well, and he does Steelers podcast stuff too. And then he's done stuff for the Browns. Like, I used to see him in Berea quite a bit. So yeah, that's kind of an awkward one. The other kind of big picture thing that was a big topic of conversation this week was just college sports and everything around it. We started the week with the realization officially that Ohio State got paid and made $91 million off their television package. One of the other things swirling around the week was the stuff that Duke did with Amazon, with their basketball, where they found games to sell to Amazon. And so as we are caroming towards 2030 and an ability to kind of open the books a little bit on the Big Ten, their influence, where's the money going to go? Ohio State is in such a powerhouse spot to really flex if they choose to. And that $91 million number is going to look like peanuts in a while. And then it's just come down to, if you're Ross Bjork and then you're the powers that be at Ohio State, how do you want to spend your money is what it's going to kind of come down to. But that number is staggering, and it's sobering for schools in the South that there are schools in the Big Ten who are damn near doubling them in terms of what they make. And certainly the idea, if you are Alabama or Texas or Oklahoma and you're making less money than Purdue or Minnesota, you're going, what is going on? How did we botch this? I asked Paul Feinbaum about that on Thursday. You can get it wherever you get our podcast. He joins us every Thursday at 10:30. And that realization is a tough one for them to swallow. And you understand why it was made. You get it. But at the same time, lapping the field of some of those powerhouses, who, by the way, and we talked about this, if you go to the top 10 broadcasts of the regular season last year, the majority of them are SEC. And so they're not being compensated for what they're delivering from an eyeballs perspective. And now that you have this money that's starting to lap the field, can they keep up? Not our problem. Never going to be something we got to deal with. But down there, it's a big problem.
We've talked about this a lot on the program. Like, there's just not the money at the southern schools for the most part, like they are the northern schools.
Yeah.
For some reason, the northern schools just have more of a footprint and more donors that can offer them big money. So they really need a Tony Petitti, quite frankly, who can get in there and help them with these TV deals and get as much money as they can. It's one of those, it's a catch-22, right, for the Big Ten at least, where the more money you have, the better, and you've got a commissioner that's doing that, but maybe he's not always looking out for the best interests of each and every school, although maybe he is, because he's saying, hey, the more money I get you, the better it is for you.
He's looking out for himself and for the presidents and the athletic directors at all 18 Big Ten schools, and he's looking out for, how can I maximize financially their windfall? That's his only job. And he's doing that. You and I might not like it, and I don't. I don't like 24. I don't like what they did in expansion. But at the same time, they've been enriched because of it in a big, big way.
Kind of along the same topic here, and I think this is something that we've known, it's been knowing for a long time, but I feel like the greed is ruining our sports, Bo, and we learned that this week. The NCAA tournament has expanded. We're well on the way to this 24-team college football playoff, and we don't get to see a horse try to win the Triple Crown.
No.
And I know this has happened for a couple years, but the risk of injury to these horses versus the stud fee that they're getting for winning the Kentucky Derby, they don't want to send them out and race in 2 weeks to the Preakness. So horse racing has to figure something out here and move these races back, put some time in between them. So maybe some of these trainers and horse owners will be more likely to have their horse run, because if we don't have horses going for the Triple Crown, what are we doing?
I think that there's two-pronged. That one's a little bit two-pronged, because you have and that was thrilling, by the way. 24 million people watching that thing. That was thrilling with the Kentucky Derby. Incredible. So I think it's two-pronged. Number one, it's the distance between is now too short. But the bigger thing is, for a lot of them, is how can I preserve the stud fee on a Kentucky Derby winner and not have it be tarnished by being exposed in the Preakness or the Belmont. Now, you said Golden Tempo is going to run the Belmont.
Well, they just said he's not running the Preakness, and they said they're going to get ready for the Belmont, but who knows?
It would be to me, it would be bad business to run the Belmont. Like, just retire him to stud right now, and now you can just say Kentucky Derby winner, Golden Tempo, stud fee $200,000. Let's go. I mean, if you go into that Belmont situation and you get bombed, then it tarnishes a little bit of what you accomplished.
I don't know.
Sucks.
I don't remember over the history of time, how many horses have hurt themselves to where they couldn't stud and have life after by running the Preakness.
No, probably not many. But the reality is that, again, this comes back to the money. I mean, that number I threw out, that's real.
Yeah.
That $200,000 stud fee. The last one to win the Triple Crown, was it Justified? I think American Pharoah won it first, and then Justified won it. And his initial stud fee was $200,000. I mean, do the math. It's 5 mares a month, and they're probably giving him a lot more than that. Do the math. Pretty quick.
So Justify won it in 2018. He is the last one.
Yeah, I think his original stud fee was over $200,000.
Yeah, this is this year, Bo. His Justify's 2025 stud fee, $250,000.
That's fine. Then they do this. It's a crazy world, man, because they do this thing where they'll stand them in Kentucky at one of the farms around there, and then in the southern hemisphere, it's the opposite breeding season. So they will send them to Australia or the Far East and have them stand over there. And it's just perpetual. Pretty good life.
So
it's a good retirement.
After his Derby win, Golden Tempo's future stud fee, just right now, is projected to be in the range of $30,000 to $50,000.
Okay.
But that's just right now.
Just right now.
He races in some more races and wins, or whatever. He goes to the Belmont and wins.
And that goes to his pedigree a little bit. It was a really, really slow Kentucky Derby. And the Kentucky Derby has just become total chaos because of so many horses are in it. And you saw the one that flipped over and all of that. So that whole thing's just been complete chaos. And so I think that's why it's it. But yeah, well, so maybe if it's only 50, that would maybe validate him running. He runs the Preakness of the Belmont, and you could maybe double or triple that thing if you're confident that he could win it. All right, coming up next, going to be a fun afternoon up in Berea. Rookie minicamp will get underway. Excited to see what all of that looks like. And according to my sources, which are me, they are trying They're trying very hard to make sure that they basically play some real football. So there's going to be a ton of guys out there playing around. It's going to be fun. We'll get you a preview of it coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC stopped working. Your competition says it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion. Replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Introducing UDF's new Ice Cream Quakes flavors for summer. Get a sugar rush with cotton candy crackle. Try something crunchy and creamy with peanuts and caramel corn. Feel a chili lime kick with mango chili tango. Or go for a summer favorite with peachy cobbler. UDF Summer Ice Cream Quakes. Only at United Dairy Farmers for a limited time.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop. If you want to upgrade your summer road trip, you got to see my friends at RCD RV. Their open house sale going on May 2nd through the 9th includes free maintenance seminars, financing incentives, accessory discounts, and more. Plus, shop over 850 RVs from all the top brands. Need more? Buy any in-stock camper and get a $1,000 RCD gift card. Or go motorhome and grab $1,500. The RCD RV open house sale, May 2nd through the 9th. Don't miss it. Visit rcdrv.com and start planning your adventure now.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
The Reds are on the radio.
Swung on, crushed, high, deep, left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. And the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Common Man and Timmy.
It's to the outside, and that's a 10-yard game before he's run out of bounds by Ramrod Johnson.
Ramrod Johnson comes from a good family.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We will see a mostly cloudy day as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures will soar into the upper 60s. Could see some stray showers out there, but the better chance of rain overnight tonight as our lows get down into the 50s. Things should start to clear out Saturday morning. Otherwise, we'll see more sunshine throughout the day, breezy winds, and highs in the low 70s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
NFL's been going at the OTAs for a couple of months now, certainly several weeks. For teams who had new coaches, we're well into month 2 of this. You sprinkle in some OTAs, and now you have the rookie mini camp. So today up in Berea, they will start that. It'll go from around 1 o'clock to a little bit before 3, about an hour and a half. They'll be out there. It's a big rookie class for the Cleveland Browns as 8 of their 12 draft picks are signed. We do have jersey assignments as well, with Denzel Boston getting number 12. Taylon Green, the rookie quarterback out of Arkansas, is going to wear 15. Casey Concepcion, pretty certain he's going to wear number 17, is going to be the number on that. And I think there's one for McNeil Warren. I'm pretty sure he's going to go 28. So that's the way that all of those things are going to shake out. I think Todd Monken up there wants some football to be played. So I think that they're going to have somebody for every position. There's a big list of undrafted guys that they got working out as well. The other thing that you have to really wrap your head around from a Browns perspective is when you guys see Taylon Green, it's going to defy a little bit of logic because he is every bit of 6'6", and if you just look at his he made Bruce Feldman's freak list when he was at Boise State. So he's a track guy by nature out of Texas. So he's a sprinter, goes to Boise State, and then eventually at Arkansas, where the team was absolutely terrible. And I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that I think that he can be whatever he's going to be in the NFL. He may be able to follow the Terrell Pryor route and end up being a 1,000-yard receiver, because somebody who's 6'6", running that fast with track speed, just run 5-6 go routes a game is going to clear things out, provided he can potentially catch the ball. Now, he's always played quarterback, but what I do like about his pick is he is a 6th-round pick, much like Shedeur Sanders last year, who was a 5th-round pick. These are lottery tickets. It's a lottery ticket. That's all it is. If it hits, you got Brock Purdy. If it doesn't, you're out a 6th-round pick. You're out a 5th-round pick. No big deal. On to the next. So I love, obviously, what they did in the entire draft, but especially what they did with that one. And of all of the things that I'm most excited to see this afternoon, that's at the top of the list, is just to see that kid out there with those physical traits throwing the football. Because just from a style of play, physical breakdown, that's the craziest quarterback room in the National Football League. None of those people look the same. None of those people play the same. And so Todd Monken's going to have some choices to make in terms of what he wants that room to look like.
Dylan Gabriel standing next to Taylon Green has got to be one of the most awkward appearances ever. And I'm sure it was kind of like that last year with Joe Flacco, because Joe's, 6'5"? So it was probably very similar.
Joe might be 6'6", too. Because Zagura is 6'5". He's taller than Nathan.
Yeah, so it's very similar in that respect as to how weird that looked with those two. I wondered when they drafted Taylon Green if he's a guy that, and I'm not saying he can't play quarterback in the NFL, but I'm sure there's going to be a development period for him and things that he's going to have to learn and get better at. So I wonder if when they drafted him, they thought, hey, we can have this guy as a project to be a quarterback, but there are situations we could use his athletic ability and his traits and get him on the field somehow in some kind of way in some package and use that athletic ability as an asset.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, that's what I said. It's the perfect lottery ticket. If they can corral it and teach quarterback play, let's go. But even if they can't, that speed, height, that package, there's a place for that in the league.
And they always talk about, too, like with quarterbacks, you want to have an elite quality when you're drafting in a quarterback.
Yeah.
If nothing else, he has an elite quality. His athleticism and size and overall doesn't matter quite as much coming into the league if you are a 6th-round pick. I mean, at the end of the day, if you draft a middle linebacker there, a defensive end there, like if they get cut, if they don't make the team, like people aren't going to be crying about it. So like you said, it's a lottery pick. And it also makes me question heading into training camp and this fall, there's no way that we'll go back-to-back seasons having 4 quarterbacks on the roster, will we? Will we do that again?
You'll have 4 on the roster, but you're not going to have 4 compete. And honestly, they didn't have 4 compete last year. That was a semantics failure, is all that was. That was, you can't. You can't have 4 quarterbacks compete. There's not enough time. So all you have to do is be a little more straightforward with how you're going to handle the quarterbacks. And if it is going to be however Todd Monken sees it, my hunch is it'll be Shedeur against Deshaun. And to this point, based on what I've seen, Deshaun has looked better. And he looks the part. He looks like how he looked when they first acquired him. But he hasn't played football in a very, very long time. But I do agree with some of what Mary Kay Cabot reported last week. Not necessarily the report, but the idea that whoever they're going to go with, they need to do that as soon as possible. Because whoever it's going to be, whether it's Deshaun, who hasn't played a full season in 4 or 5 years, or it's Shedeur, they need all the work. And this is the NFL. These practices aren't long enough, guys. These are an hour and a half once a day. There's not enough time to get all of this stuff in. You should know what you have. So I think this stuff will get fast-tracked a little bit. I'm excited to see the 2 receivers as well, Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion. It seems like they basically just landed their starting receivers in one draft. And so Boston will be on the outside. KC can be on the outside. He's bigger than people think a lot, and I've done this. People do the Zay Flowers thing with him. Casey Concepcion's 6'200", Like he's
thick.
all of that. Yes, he is. He's not slight in any way.
And he has a very thick lower half, too. Like, he's going to be able to take some hits and whatnot, especially if you're playing in the slot over the middle. He is, his legs are big.
Yes. Yeah, you're going to bounce off him. He's explosive. And so then you can put him on the outside. You could put Judy in the slot, and you could have Denzel Boston on the other side. And now all of a sudden you have some things for a quarterback to work with. So all of those things are going to be pretty fun to see later on this afternoon up in Berea. Down in Cincinnati, I saw Joe Burrow, who was at the Met Gala middle of the week, made his way to Cincinnati for OTAs, which has got to be exciting down there. Bake, we continue to, I think, look pretty smart with the idea of that Cincinnati operation as a 25-1 Super Bowl pick. I like the odds on that quite a bit. They're as all in as can be. Does it resonate for you at all that Burrow's at the OTAs?
It does, and I think if you're him, you should be. Because I believe the last couple of years you have asked a lot from your ownership and your management as far as, hey, I want to keep these guys on offense. I want to keep Jamar Chase. I want to keep T. Higgins. I like my tight ends. Let's get them signed. And then, well, we need to add to the defense. Well, they've done that as well, too. And the Bengals have had a very not Bengals-like offseason where they have added and they have spent some money. So if I'm Joe Burrow in this situation, just as a thank you probably to my organization for doing what I've asked, I would show up and be there leading the troops.
And it feels like for Joe, too, coming into this season after you have asked for so much and they finally, I mean, what did we say when they did the Dexter Lawrence trade? It was, this is uncharacteristic. The Bengals never do something like this. And so when Joe's clearly pushed them to the point where, all right, we need to kind of go all in on this because we talked about playoff and finals windows earlier with the Cavs.
Yeah, right.
And it feels like for the Bengals, like we're kind of on a similar trajectory. The past couple of seasons, it's been, well, they're a sneaky Super Bowl team over and over again. Is this a season where they can finally make that final push? And if they can't, who is it on? Is it on management this year or is it on Joe? Like it gets to the point where when they keep feeding you, if you can play on the field and stay out there, if the defense can improve, the blame could shift.
There is no doubt that what you just said is where they're at. Because they are certainly, at the very least, entering the end of this window. I mean, do you have 1 or 2 more years where all these guys are still in their prime? I mean, receivers fall off 31, 32. Those guys aren't there yet. But we're progressing. We're progressing. It's time. They got about a 2-year window here to go and go win the damn thing.
And I will say this, I don't think if they don't get there this year, the blame is going to lay at Joe's feet because I think Zach Taylor's going to be the guy that gets the blame if they don't do it this year. But after that, then it's coming to Joe Burrow. Then the pressure and the heat is going to rise a little bit and say, well, we gave you your guys. We kept your guys on offense. We've added to your defense. We got rid of the coach. It's you, Joe.
And I think, too, like, when you have the player, obviously Cincinnati loves Joe. They love Joe Burrow. When you have the franchise quarterback, the fan base is behind you. But as that ages and you start looking back on careers, you don't look back with that love. Like, what did we say about Phillip Rivers? It's different. When he was in L.A., everybody loved Phillip Rivers. When he was in San Diego, I guess. When he was in San Diego, everybody loved Phillip Rivers. Now we look back and it was like, well, maybe it was Phillip that was the problem. Or maybe it was Peyton Manning. I can't be sure.
and Brady. I think you nailed it, though, Bake, what you said. They have one more get-out-of-jail-free card for Joe, and that'll be Zach. And then once you fire Zach, then it all goes to Joe, and eventually got to stay healthy, got to win. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Cincinnati this year. One more real quick before we get to Doug. Aaron Rodgers heading to Pittsburgh. The Steelers reportedly didn't know he was coming to town. He didn't even tell them. That organization getting into bed with him is one of the craziest things of all time in sports. It really is. It shows you how desperate you can be for a quarterback because, holy smokes, it is not the way that they're used to doing business. Doug Lesmerises in 2 minutes, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
What would it take for my child to only miss half a day of school for treatment?
What would it take to fund a cure for childhood cancer?
It would take all of us to come together to support the research.
Join us. Go to childrenscancer.org today.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, who taught you about business?
My mom.
Huh, really?
Yes, really.
What business was she in?
She was in the business of raising 3 kids by herself.
Single mom. That explains a lot.
What do you mean?
Well, it explains why you do an additional $500 worth of repairs for free when people have to buy a new hot water heater.
If someone had done that for Mom, she would have thought they were an angel sent from heaven.
Get Eco.
ECO.
And it explains why you give people credit for all the money they spent with us for HVAC repairs when they need to buy a new system.
Yeah.
And it explains why you were such a maniac about finding a good toilet that we could sell fully installed for just $650.
Maniac?
You were a maniac, Aaron.
Get Eco.
ECO.
We've got plumbers, we've got electricians, and we've got HVAC technicians. And every one of them has a mom.
I love you, Mom.
GetEco.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Find us on YouTube. Search WBNS Radio and you can see what Bo looks like. But only if you subscribe. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Friday, 11:30, we talked to our good buddy Doug Lesmerises, the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube, the Substack, Bill and Doug, OSU.substack.com. Buddy, Ohio State got $91 million, not for last season, but for the previous one when they won the national title. That was their share of the television package. Is it enough?
Yeah, because it's enough to support what they want to do, right? Which is compete at football at the highest level, still keep their sports going. Like, you know, it's always like, what is the money for? So there's the money, but it's like, what do you do with the money, right? And so again, you give things up for money. You give up tradition. You give up the times that you want to play your football games, right? There are sacrifices that are made. So then it's like, okay, well, that's a lot of money. So are you spending it in a way that then makes things good? And it's like, yeah, I think it is. But at some point, it's like, well, if you need more than that, I don't know, then what is it mean you got to play a game on the moon? Does it mean like you have to have, right? I mean, now San Diego State's in the Big Ten. Like, what else is there? We got to get the San Diego market. We've got to make $96 million instead of $91 million, right? So yeah. I think that, I mean, like, a lot of money, gave up some stuff to get it. Still in a pretty good spot. I'm good.
Yeah, the reason I ask it is there is the realization, nothing's official, but the realization that you're going to be playing the Oregon game at noon with Penn State with Notre Dame playing at night. And every time they say that, I say the Draper line, right? This is what the money's for. This is why you're doing it. Yep. But your amount isn't that much more than people's amount who aren't ever asked to play Big Noon, who don't have to carry an entire conference's heavy water on a yearly basis the way that Ohio State is leaned on by the Big Ten. And Ohio State, and you and I have talked about this a bunch, has always been an incredibly benevolent partner, stunningly so. And I do wonder if Ross will get to a point with all of this where he says, okay, fine, but now here's what I need from you. And again, I'm sure it'll end with the term, we're going to need a little bit more.
But I guess if you're bargaining, right? So whatever, yes. The next TV deal, the next time you're talking with the conference, right? If you're trying to use your leverage for something, would you not rather use your leverage to say, we want more primetime games, right? We'll keep the same money, but it's like, so like what's the give and take that if you're going to leverage, I would say, is not the first priority getting off Big Noon as frequently. That if they can't do it right now in the midst of this deal because that's what they agreed to, when it's the next TV deal, that might be where I start, as opposed to saying, well, we know you're going to stick us at noon, so then we want more money. I'd rather say, we'll keep the same money, but we want more freedom on this end, right? So maybe
I'd take both. I'd demand both, Doug. I would say we want one veto. and more.
Sure. And it's about like being a good neighbor. Do you want to get to a point where you're playing 12 bangers a year, or do you want to play some games against Maryland and Rutgers and Northwestern and Purdue because you want some easy wins in your conference? And it is like the top of and this is one of those things again, like, does the money matter to fans? Because it's not like if Ohio State said, well, we got an extra $10 million from the Big Ten and we're going to decrease ticket prices by $2 a ticket for everybody, right? Like, does it get put money in my pocket as a fan? So it's like, what are you doing to make my fan experience better? Okay, you're using the money to compete at the highest level. That matters to me. But, like, what else are you doing? Like, kick times are way up there. So, yeah, give me a veto. But I like veto first on the list, an extra 4% of the money second on the list.
I agree. Yeah. And then we have this Duke thing this week where they're creating games. You can't do that for football, but you can do that for college basketball, where you basically create games outside of your package, which is amazing that Duke was able to do that in what we previously thought was an ironclad ACC television deal. You're one of, and I had Paul on yesterday, as I always do, have him on Thursdays, have you on Fridays, so we get a little bit of a yin and yang of both of those. And one of the things that I asked him, because he is someone who talks to his audience a lot, you talk to your audience a lot. When your audience hears 24-team playoff, what do they think?
Well, I think everyone's knee-jerk reaction is this is a disaster, and I've been trying to talk them off the ledge. I don't know. Is there a lot of ledge talking out there? Everyone else is grabbing the fans and jumping off the bridge with them. That's it. We've killed the sport, including Paul. And did you bring up to Paul, by the way, that he was on your show in February and said Alabama and Ohio State were probably going to cancel their series, and then they didn't? It was officially announced that they were keeping it after the appearance.
Yeah. So it came yesterday after we were off air. So I'll save that for for next week. Get him on. We'll ask him next week about that.
I did tweet yesterday. Wrong, Paul.
For now, Doug. For now.
It's all about trade-offs, right? Yeah. And so, like, again, I think you can explain it away, and I don't think the 76-team NCAA tournament is a disaster. It's play-in rounds. You're playing into the bubble instead of the committee selecting the bubble. And that first round, again, like, it's a trade-off. It's going to be 24 instead of 16, but you're trading out conference championship games for a first round of the playoff, right? So that's a trade, because if you're at 16 or 12, you've got to have conference championship games, because there's, you're losing money if you get rid of conference championship games. They
Inventory,
get rid of it, right? So you've got to get a trade-off. Well, if we're going to lose the conference championship games, what's the trade-off? Well, you get an extra round of the playoff. So then it's like, what would you rather have? A play-in round of the playoff where there's real stakes, or conference championship games that are threatened to have players sit out because in the Big Ten, Indiana and Ohio State played a fun championship game last year. They were the 1 and 2 seed regardless.
Yeah.
Right. So again, like, if you think about it, we did a 100-minute show on the Bill and Doug show on YouTube yesterday, explaining the trade-offs of all of this.
Yeah.
And so if you help people understand, like, we're moving this direction, so it's either this or this, that's different than 24 teams is a disaster, which is where Paul is, right? Is he yelling and screaming 24 is a disaster?
I am too. You and I differ on this. I don't need to see. I don't need to see Vanderbilt
through the trade-offs.
I understand the trade-offs. I get it.
But what about, who wants to see it? Vanderbilt and Iowa fans. Like, a lot of this discussion comes from the standpoint of Bama and Ohio State.
I think that's
fair. Like, if you ask Vanderbilt and Iowa fans, hey, do you want a chance at a 24-team playoff? And Iowa fans say, we can make the playoff? We don't have to beat Ohio State and Oregon and Indiana to make the playoff. We can have, like, a good team, go 9-3, be the 22 seed, and play a playoff game? That sounds awesome to me. And I just think we all have to remember, not everything's from the standpoint of Bama and Ohio State.
Agreed. And that's a very good point out of you. I continue to do this show here, so I'm looking at everything through scarlet and gray colored glasses, but it's a fair point. I think what would be interesting is if you asked the example you just gave, which is Vanderbilt and Iowa, and my hunch is neither one of those programs, outside of a potentially Diego Pavia thinking that he can beat someone irrationally, but outside of that, Would you rather have that, or would you rather go and get a week at a bowl site in the old ways? And I know we're never going back to that, but I also think this is absolutely farcical that some of these teams are truly contenders for this. So, okay, Iowa gets to be in it against Vanderbilt. Now, you're hosting a game in Iowa City in early December against Vanderbilt. Are we sure that's going to sell out, Doug?
It's the biggest.
Are we sure that their fans want that?
It's the biggest game in the history of Iowa football. They're in a playoff.
Oh, they've played in conference championship.
They have a home game.
Really, though?
Yeah. They want to.
I mean,
be
you
part
can
of it.
sell it.
You
You can
be
try
part
to
of the
sell
game.
that. I don't know.
You want to be part of the tournament, and we have to understand there's two levels to all this stuff. And this is true in every sport. There's the teams where the goal is winning a championship, and there's the teams where making the playoff is the success in itself. I don't know what we have to do to get to a world where Iowa and Vanderbilt can win a national championship. Although Indiana just won one, so if Indiana can do it, they can do it. But give Iowa fans a home playoff game in their place, or do you want to go to a bowl game in Orlando or Nashville for the 8th time? They're going to pick the game in Iowa City, brother.
They might.
Playoff with hope. There's hope. You're in it. We're the 19 seed. Are we really going to win a national championship? Probably not. But you talk yourself into it for a week, and then you have an SEC team come to your place under the banner of the college football playoff, biggest game in Iowa football history.
I'd have to look up the history.
But that's what because what else is there? Oh, there was a time there was a regular season game where we did this, right? But
we all have to get used to it.
Playoff.
It's all. That's where we're headed. Obviously, that's where we're headed. And so we all just got. We all have to get used to it.
State fan, what makes you mad about Iowa? Like, why would an Ohio State fan be mad about a Vanderbilt Iowa game that's in the play-in round, and then the winner of that plays the 2 seed?
No, they're not going to be. They're not going to be mad. They're going to be indifferent because it doesn't affect them. I don't think anybody around here is going to be like, I can't wait to watch that game.
But they're also not watching the Vanderbilt Iowa Nashville bowl game.
No, they're not.
Really indifferent. They might watch the playoff game. It's a college football playoff game.
Yeah.
They're more likely to watch that playoff game than they are to watch the Citrus Bowl. That doesn't matter between those two teams.
Maybe.
It's not as bad as we think when we think about trade-offs. And by the way, conference championship games, they're fun. They're stakesless right now.
Those got to go.
But the only way to get rid of them is to go to a 24-team playoff. If you go to 16, they're staying.
Why? Why are they staying at 16?
Because of the money. Because you're not adding a playoff.
You are, though. You're adding you're adding more games. You're adding 4 more games that could replace it.
You're just getting rid of the buys. 4 games isn't enough to get rid of it. It's a weekend, right? So it's like it's a whole weekend of football. You're trading out conference championship weekend becomes first round of the playoff weekend. And so instead of Ohio State, Indiana, you're getting the 9 seed versus the 24 seed, et cetera. 8 games, all on campus sites. Everybody likes the campus games. In a 24-team playoff, we're going from 4 campus games to 16 campus games. 8 the first weekend, 8 the second weekend. That's what a lot of people want. They want the campus games. It's all trade-offs. I don't say the 24 is better than 12 or 16. I would like to tell people not to jump off the bridge and think their sport is dead because it's about
it's
trade-offs.
not going to die.
It'll be okay. But
it'll all be fine.
Is Paul saying it's like Paul's in disaster mode? There's a lot of people in disaster mode, Bo. You know that. There's a lot of
because we're in the content business. I'm not in the disaster mode. No, none of that's going to happen.
We're killing the sport. We're not killing it. It's okay.
No. 24 is not going to kill it at all. It's going to change it, and you're going to have to be malleable when it comes to what comes with that. And so that there will be changes to it. All right, buddy. Good stuff, as always. You did an hour on this? When did you do this? Yesterday?
It's up. We did it. We put it up last night. Bill and Doug show on your podcast feed on YouTube. We went through everything the coaches said. 24-team playoff done by the second weekend in January. No conference championships games. What's the best way we can make it work? It's not advocating. It's trying to talk you off the ledge if you're nervous. 100 minutes.
Great job. Look forward to it. I'll be listening to it this afternoon. See you soon, buddy.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. See ya.
There he goes. Doug Lesmerises, the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube. Bill and Doug, OSU.substack.com. Get you 3 things on a Friday. Up next, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. Just freak the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste. Plus, superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. There's a lot of window companies out there. If you need window replacement, I want you to go with my guys, the guys that I trust, Universal Windows Direct, because right now when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus, 24 months with no payments and no interest, and a $500 bonus off your home improvement project. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Call 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Jack Nicklaus's unrivaled vision. World-class competition. Yes. Golf's greats honored. Impactful charitable giving, loyal fans and volunteers, an iconic history defined by one handshake on the 18th green. June 1st through 7th, buy your tickets to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. Visit memorialtickets.com.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Listen, at some point you stopped calling it pain. You just started calling it, well, this is just how I am now. Deep down, you know it's not okay, but you want to get back to the normal you, not this new normal you've been living with. Well, there's a place you can do it, and there's a guy that can help you out. Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics and their regenerative treatments for joint pain located in Dublin and Gahanna, they can help you out. They helped me out. They helped out my father. They're going to help you with whatever joint pain that you have. They're going to come in with this arthritis in a knee, a hip, a shoulder, a back. You can't move. You don't sleep as well. You want to get back to golfing and running, and you don't want to have surgery or a long recovery. The science is real. The treatments are natural. Your body knows how to heal itself. Let QC Kinetics get the tools to your body to help it get better. No operating room, no hardware, and you can get out this summer and have a good time. So listen, the longer it lasts, you need to get it taken care of. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or go to 380-208-4544.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
Connect with the show on X at 971BFS. Jump in our YouTube chat or just send a raven. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, what do we have on the poll today, gentlemen?
The Daily Fan Poll, sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, asks, Have you finished all of your Mother's Day shopping yet? And I feel like I'm kind of surprised by these numbers a little bit. 57% say yes, of course. 43% say no, I'm a procrastinator.
Still time, if you're one of those no's, to get to my friends at Diamond Cellar. Yes, I have. Come on. I mean, you can't screw this one up.
You'd think there's a lot of Amazon orders going out today?
You got time. You be careful on that, though. It's not always delivered when it's advertised, so be careful with that one. All right, time for three things on a Friday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, number one for me, as I've said a couple of times throughout the week, going to be up in Dublin all weekend for the middle school lacrosse championships. Excited to see NBC and the boys give it a go. My wife is packing for this tournament, and I'm talking about like what I am allegedly supposed to take to the games, as if we are going on a hiking trip through the Andes. I need mules to haul all this crap in. I'm like, we are playing in Dublin, honey. I guarantee they're going to have food trucks. We used to live at Wedgwood. Like, there's a lot of places to buy stuff there if we need to. Is there any reason to pack all of this stuff, of which the kids will eat 32% of? No, is the answer.
Got to be prepared, Bo. Dublin's out there in the middle of nowhere.
It's a major metropolis. We can buy it.
First thing for me, we're about 2 weeks in now with the kittens, Bo, and I haven't talked too much about them on the show. It's been pretty good. The one cat was a little skittish at first, so he didn't really want to explore the house, but they're pretty good around the house now. They know where all the litter boxes are. I think this weekend we're going to take the little makeshift one out of the kitchen, so that doesn't have to be there anymore. I will say, though, my little dude, there's one's a girl, one's a guy. We're going to have a talk about, and I'm okay with them getting in the bed and, hanging out and sleeping with me. But
No, don't do that, Vic.
Well, they're cats. I don't even know how you stop it. But
well, you got to say no. You got to put a fence, put an electric collar on them so they get zapped if they jump on the bed.
I'm okay with it, but my dude has got to quit getting in my face. Like, he wants to just get right in my face and purr in the middle of the night, and I'm not going to be able to do that. Like, dude, you got to sleep, man. We got to get up early here. Leave the face alone at night. Like, just curl up behind me, rub against my back, but...
That's a massive mistake. You're one of the most eligible bachelors in Central Ohio, and now we got cats in your bed. We can't live like this, Bake. You got to...
Right in the face. We got to quit.
Right in the face. We got to sort this out, buddy.
First thing for me, also having animal issues. My dog has returned. My fiance took him down to Tennessee for a while she was doing vet school this past spring. They're home for the summertime. And I have quickly learned that my house is not gym-proof. He's a basset hound. All he cares about is sleeping, eating, and sniffing. And in the 4 days that he has been home, he has stolen 3 different food items. The first day on Tuesday, he got on Monday. On Tuesday, I hop in the shower. Right now, I just got done getting my cabinets redone. So I was taking all the doors off, painting them. And so there was a loaf of bread that he was able to get into. So that's first day. I ripped that away from him. Okay. Day 2, I catch him with my bacon bits somehow also pulled out of the same area.
That's
so now we've learned that he needs to be in the crate when he's not being supervised. This morning, we're getting ready for the show. E gets in the shower. He's found chocolate. I don't even know how he found chocolate. He found chocolate this morning. So he was scarfing that down. Thankfully, just a little bit. He's a big boy, so he'll be all right. But, yeah, he's a scavenger. My house is not ready for Jim to be back.
That's what that nose is for, brother. Number 2 for me, there's nothing scarier in my life than the landscapers showing up on a Friday and they're not here to mow the lawn.
Uh-oh.
She has greenlit something. I don't know if there's bushes that she don't like. I don't know what the hell it is, but there are tractors. This is not good. This is not good. I knew nothing about this. Was not talked. No discussion. Just somehow she greenlit it, and now what she'll do is she'll say, "Oh yeah, I talked to you about that. Don't you remember?" It'll be like a conversation we had in passing 7 months ago. I have no idea what's going on.
You approved it somewhere along the line. Second thing for me, we may now know what was causing some of Darren Peterson's health issues and keeping him off of the court this year. He has said that due to some blood work and some tests, they have found out that it was taking the supplement creatine that is causing him to dehydrate and get cramps. I guess he said that his body already produces an exorbitant amount of it, and he had never taken it before he had gotten to Kansas. They said there was one time in September during a Bill Self boot camp that Darren Peterson said he thought he was going to die. He was cramping so bad, so maybe Darren Peterson actually had something going on here.
Yeah, he did. He really did. Pretty crazy.
Final thing for me, coming up next, we have Rothman and Ice, Jeremy Fowler on at 12:30, Jensen Lewis coming up at 2:30. Listen to the boys there.
Collective third from all of us. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Happy Heavenly Mother's Day to my mom, my wife, who, despite my complaining about her, is actually pretty great. Have a great Mom's Day out there, and we'll be back on Monday. Rothman and Ice up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.